What's this Facebook update about, Campbell?
Which one?
I used to be a film buff. Now I'm just regular buff. These abs are ridiculous. Yo.
Later this evening, I will bust out a box of Magnums, guaranteed.
And possibly some Pepsi Max.
I got a 6-pack of Pepsi Maps. I think some people refer to that as an abs of Pepsi Max.
Really?
Max abs, I think
Really?
they call it, yeah. Some people. I don't know who. I wouldn't know who.
An abs.
An abs, yeah. I've heard people say that at the bottle. I used to work at a bottle. Did people ask for an abs of things?
Like, get a 6-pack.
Yeah. Give us an abs.
Possibly. I don't remember it specifically, but people like to be creative with how they request things. So,
Like what? Box of goon?
and there was one thing everyone said. Oh, that's right. The thing that everyone said, the biggest
Carton of
cliche
wine.
was
And you're
like,
it only comes in bottles.
do you want that on check or savings? And like, spendings, thanks.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's
What's wrong
almost...
with that?
It's not funny.
Oh, just trying to lighten the bottle-o's day.
Oh,
Yeah, but if you got it 3 times a day,
Yeah,
every
that's
day
the
for 4
thing.
They
years.
don't know that.
They should.
They all think they're really
They all
clever.
think, yeah, they
Also,
came
no
up
one should
with it.
ever make any joke,
Yeah.
just in
Not
case you've heard it
that
before.
joke. It's like no one when ordering a coffee should say, "Oh yeah, no sugar, I'm sweet enough."
Whoa.
No, that's what the barista should say to the pretty girl who's ordering the coffee.
What? You're sweet enough. No
Do you want
sugar's for
sugar?
you.
No. And he goes, well, you're already sweet enough.
What if she says yes? You say you don't need it. You're
Don't
sweet
know,
enough.
none for you, fatty.
So this is Fangin' Around, episode 33, recording this on the 17th of the December 2012, 4 days away from the end of the world, so we're calling this the end of the world special.
Failing that, it'll be our Christmas special.
Yes. Will it?
It's our last one before Christmas, isn't it?
You're not coming next Monday?
Well, I am. I thought, but
I'm
you
not.
you pinned this as the last ever Fanging Around.
Yeah, because the world's ending on Friday.
I thought it was because
I
Fred's
thought it was
not
all
coming
about me,
back.
but apparently
yeah.
No.
Oh, that's why I
You've
bought.
been following
that's
the
why I
whole
bought
internet, gone
Magnums.
freaking out about the end of the
Oh
world.
well, I'll take the Magnums home with me then.
Oh, you don't want to. You might not get to eat them though if it's the end of the world.
I'll have 4 to myself then. I'll have them when I get home.
As they announce the end of the world, just like stuffing magnums into your face. I'm James, and to my left,
Campbell.
and then
Fred.
on the other
On the
side of the
baby
table
chair.
in the baby chair.
You guys are power playing me.
This is actually going to be an intervention. We're just breaking you down slowly and sneakily. We don't want you to go to Boulder, Colorado, Fred. We're worried about you. We saw what happened. We're not going to talk about that.
No, I'm not.
Yes. Well, we're hoping this won't be the last episode that Fred's on. He might come back for one more.
Maybe in the new year.
Yeah, New Year's special. If you were a fan of this show and a fan of Fred, write to us and petition. I'll get a possible up. And some fans in the States might launch a Kickstarter to try to get Fred to come back for one last episode. We'll call it the next episode.
With Dr.
Well, you are a doctor, so-
How's that go? Bling, 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 bling.
Hey, that's more like it. A bit more Liberace up in it.
Apparently there's a Liberace movie coming,
Need
and
more
Matt
fun.
Damon
Oh.
has to make out with Michael Douglas.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's what people have been...
I've been wanting a Liberace movie because I don't know,
I know.
enough about him.
It'd be the best movie. He was
What is
pretty
he-
amazing.
You know,
Yeah,
you need
I-
Baz Luhrmann to
I don't know what he
That'd be
did.
great.
Have you seen... Oh, you should just YouTube him because he was pretty
Wasn't
amazing.
he kind of disgusting?
He was hilarious. Like
He
he'd
was like
roll
a-
up on
I thought
stage
he was like
in a Rolls Royce.
I thought he was a bloated drunk. Maybe it was like
Yeah.
Elvis who kind of went way downhill at the end.
Yeah, but you say bloated drunk billionaire like it's a bad thing.
I don't think he was a billionaire. I think those jewels might have been fake.
Oh no!
Fred.
This is Liberace be rolling
listener
over in
mail.
his Diamante covered grave.
This is from Bill.
Hey, Bill.
I don't know if he wants us to read his last name, but I'll just say Bill.
Is it Bill Withers? Because I love that song he did. Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day.
Hey, I'm a new listener to the podcast.
Lovely
I'm from
day.
America. I think he
I
wants
want
us
to
to be
live
like.
in America.
Is that
I
West
want
Side
to live
Story?
in America.
Maybe he's
Anyways,
a
I'm such a uncultured twat that I can never tell any of you guys apart. I know someone else is talking but you guys might as well be one person. I'm going to keep listening to try and train my brain to your accents, or you guys go speak American and maybe I could understand yous better. That's it. Just
Hold on,
wanted
did
to
he
say
say use?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm dubious.
suspicious.
Yeah,
He dropped two words that are setting off alarm bells for
Flag.
us. Twat and use.
Yeah. Now, twat's a British thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I believe
But
it
use-
refers to
Is that a
Use.
southern hemisphere
Antipodean thing.
British-based thing, like New Zealand?
No,
Australia,
it's not
and South
British
Africa?
based. I think it's Italian of Italian origin. So maybe it is fine.
Is it?
Well, because in Italian, I don't know about French, but in Spanish there is my language isn't too good, but there's a word for, there's him, her, it, them, and there's yous, which is to say you and the people you're with. So in Spanish you can say yous and it's right.
Maybe it's a
So I think it's come
immigrant.
over. Yeah.
With the Greek and Italian.
Yeah, so maybe it's possible that they do say that in the States, but it's a big thing here. Yous.
Maybe he's of Latino origin. But then why are you saying twat?
Maybe it's tricultural.
Anyway, he says, that's it. Just wanted to say, hey,
Oh.
6 show mates, shrimp on the Barbie, and
Mates.
other stereotypes. Yeehaw, Bill Johnson.
Yeehaw.
So maybe he was trying
he's
to sound
American.
Australian.
Well, he said yeehaw. I believe
Yeehaw,
that.
yeah.
That's very
Thanks,
American.
Bill, for writing in.
Yeah.
We love your support.
I'm glad you're enjoying the show. Hopefully, as you listen more, you
Obviously,
will kind of
we
become
have one
familiar
of
with
our
this.
members moving to America in a few days. If you're American, you listen to this, please write in with some tips for Fred to survive.
Or if you want to
America.
catch up with Fred,
He was just wondering
we'll
today,
be doing
how do
book
you tip?
signings.
Give us some tips on how to tip.
10%.
10% flat.
No, you got to do 15 minimum, man.
Oh, what? I
10%
think
is like
10 minimum, 15 on
10%. You
good
might as well be
behaviour.
not tipping at all.
Oh,
But I'm
really?
a foreigner. Can't I just be like,
Que pasa?
You tip him some gum.
give him like a
So like
Say,
Mr.
tell
Bean
him be
did.
good to your mother.
Jesus thing? John
I don't know.
13.
Tip, just throw some money at them. Just throw money at
Yeah,
them.
well, I think when I get there, I'm going to be so freaked out, I'll probably tip 50% and then run away.
That sounds like an interesting plan.
What have you guys been consuming?
No more listener mail?
That's it.
Well, can we give him any advice on how to differentiate us? I'm the handsome one. You're the one with the Brisbane accent.
Yeah. The busy accent.
He's not going to be able to know
That is
that.
picked up from a different podcast.
I think I have a quite nerdy accent.
There's
Oh.
such thing as a nerdy accent.
Yeah, there is.
Dude, we're all pretty nerdy.
Yeah. Wouldn't I have it?
Yeah, but I think I have it more than others. I mean, that's why I did it. Started
Can you give
Jimmysh
us
in
the
the first place to become a better speaker because I'm such a poor
Can you
speaker.
give us a stereotypical nerdy accent?
Well, I think I'm just speaking it now.
That's the Brizzy thing, guys.
Well, that's just corrupted it because I adopt things from things I'm watching. Like when I was huge into Tom Green, I adopted his laugh, which is like something like that.
See, so Bill, even we have trouble sometimes.
James just can't differentiate himself.
Have you started listening to the minutes yet?
No.
Campbell, you're missing out, man. She got married.
I know, that's why
Patience
I can't listen now.
Oh no!
I'm devastated, heartbroken.
Oh, and Mel Buttle's always on fire. Don't want to leave her out. It's a two woman show.
Big butt, they call her. Don't they? I
don't know.
would. If her last name was Butter.
Buttle.
Oh, well, if it was Buttle, I'd
Like
call her
rebuttal.
Butt. Oh, yeah, that's a bit classy. I'd just call her Butt.
Mel Butt, come
Mel
on the show
Butt.
because she comes to Perth all the time for a comedy, and we could
Does she?
get her on the show
Wow.
maybe if we could
Oh, well.
somehow
Unless she hears this.
do the whole Jacinda De Hayes campaign again. 'cause
Now,
that worked out
talking
so
about
well.
Jacinta Del Hayes, I was at SciTech with my son
Really?
this week when I noticed up on the wall a list of prominent scientists,
I believe-
including
Yep.
international throughout history, but
Yep.
including some local yokels, and check out who was on the wall.
This is why we need her on the show. If she's on
Jacinta
Scitech's
Del.
wall,
Did
she's
you
a
also
celebrity.
see a Daniel Creedon, a quantum physicist?
Yes,
on
I
that
did
wall?
see
Yep.
Danny. Have you got some smack to talk about
is
him?
Daniel Creedon a
He-
female?
No.
he
That does
like-
not solve our science as a girlfriend problem.
Jacinta's research is part of the worldwide effort to piece together the puzzle of how galaxies evolve.
That's the problem, friend. We've got gallons of male scientists just writing and saying, "Can I please be on the show?"
Oh, bullshit.
We want to support female scientists and prove that they exist.
What measure do we have of male scientists?
And female physicists, I should say.
Gallons. Gallons of them.
Obviously, I know a number of female scientists.
Do you?
Yes.
Name one, apart from Jacinta.
Well, isn't Courtney up the road? She's doing, biology or whatever, like eating stuff.
Courtney, Bryony's sister.
Bryony's sister.
I don't think she's
No,
a
she's
scientist.
just
She's on a
nutrition.
diet, yeah.
Isn't that science?
Oh.
Eating stuff. That's like saying you're
You have
a
to study-
scientist because you're doing that weird pod that tells you how far to walk and how much to eat thing.
No, but you have to be a qualified nutrition. You have to do a degree in science, right? About
Oh, she's actually doing a degree, and I thought she was just a.
No,
fan.
she did do a nutritional science.
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. I know a few biologists.
Name one.
Get him on.
What,
Oh,
Harry?
Huh?
Harry?
I don't want a biologist, Fred. I want somewhere where there's a lack of females, which is physics, which we've talked about many times.
She's not a physicist.
She's an astrophysicist, which is physics.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
And I prefer that kind because
Might as well be
I am
astrology
obsessed with
physics.
space. It lines up with my knowledge base.
Well, we're doubling up. In
Huh?
that case, aren't we doubling
No,
up?
but we want to get a conversation. If it's someone talking about lasers, we wouldn't even know what he's talking about.
I know. It'd
I
never
don't
come
really
up.
talk about lasers on this show.
I know.
Why
He was
not?
talking about it just before, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're bragging
The
about
audience
lasers.
would
we
plummet.
should. I was like, we should be recording this on the show because to me it's interesting, but maybe not for everyone else.
Well, for all our other listeners. What have we been consuming? I have...
Write in. Would you like Fred on his last episode, if he comes back, very last day before he leaves? Do you want him to talk more about lasers? Write in, tell us.
Or do you want him to eat a sandwich?
Or do you want me to get
right
Jacinta
up
on?
in the mic?
I could eat another mango.
She talks about galaxies and, going
Does
back
she?
in time.
How
She's
do
a
you
time
know?
traveler. We've read out articles written about her.
because he stalked her extensively, Campbell. That's how he knows.
How can I stalk her when she's in the media all the time? It's not like
You can't help but stalk. How could you not? You just turn on the TV and you're outside a house looking in the window.
Fred, there's many other women I'm outside.
That's not really a...
Such as that nutritionist up the road.
No, well, she's just come over.
What?
Who?
She lives up the road. Never mind.
So you're interested in all these topics so long as girls are talking about it.
What have you been consuming, Campbell?
To be honest, I think last time we spoke, I mentioned that I'd watched the first couple of episodes of Community, and I was a bit fence-sitting about it.
I got your text.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe you established a connection.
Yeah, we might have to talk about that. So I watched the first couple of episodes, and I was a bit like, this is a bit smarmy, not that into it. Anyway, watched the first 6 episodes, and I was getting into it. Watched 10, and now the meat hooks are in. They're in deep, and I think I'm up to episode like 13 or something, and I'm so into it now.
I think
Really?
I remember
Yeah.
the first few episodes
Yeah,
were
got me.
a little bit standard. I think, and then it kind of went off, not off the rails, but got a little quirky. and
I'm sure there is
They,
one.
like,
I
kind of
can't
went
remember
fun.
what it is, but I'm sure there's one particular episode you just like, oh wait, okay, I see
Yeah.
they're doing something different.
There's
Yeah.
payoff episodes. Like, even
Yeah.
the second one's got a pretty good payoff. And the Dia de los Muertos episode cracked me up. I think that was the one that got me big time. Where Pierce is tripping and he builds that fort and he's freaking out. And,
the bed fort.
and it's not bed. It's made of like chairs and things, like furniture.
You've still got
And-
the bed fort to come.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's those ones. And the one where El Tigre is... Jeff's trying to get him back together with his wife.
Oh right.
Oh, yeah.
And Abed's like doing the workshop with T-Bone where they have to like sing to the rat. And anyway,
It is-
good times.
To me, it's the definition. Like, I'm not super involved with it like other shows, but to me, when I want light-hearted fun, I want what Community is, because it's there's
Yep.
no really consequences or anything what people do, because every episode's sort of independent, but they'll try and do things on different episodes, and as you go on, they'll have, at some point they go, screw it, let's have every episode should have a theme,
The themes are pretty good. The themed
Rather than
episodes are
there's
the big
other shows like have you watched How I Met Your Mother?
ones. No.
They are super experimental with writing. Like
Oh.
every episode's like a different way of doing Pulp Fiction. You know,
Oh.
going back in time and forward, but it's the same subject matter, and it's
I don't
really
like that show because it does have moments of very emotional bits.
Oh, Everybody Loved Raymond did that to
yeah.
me once,
Yeah.
and I didn't like it.
No, I don't want that. If I
And
want
the main
emotional, I'll
character
watch it.
Ted is such a lame. He's so lame.
But did you guys ever see Murder, She Wrote?
Is that your all-time favorite show?
Well, did you ever see it, though? Obviously, you never saw it.
I might have flicked through on the channels.
Oh, well, come back to me when you've seen the first 6 seasons.
You have not seen 6 seasons.
What about Golden Girls?
I watched Golden Girls for a few minutes, and they just paid out on one of them for being a slut. And
That's every episode.
the really, really old one, gives a hard time to the Texan one about being
What
a slut.
about I Love Lucy? It's pretty good.
Never seen that.
The Nanny?
I know you love The Nanny. I thought you might have had any luck. I know you've been looking for The Nanny DVDs.
No, they've only released the first 3 seasons. I'm waiting for the Laserdisc.
Check the Pirate Bay.
I haven't. But I want really good quality, you know. They filmed the thing on VHS, so I'm hoping
You want that
They've
voice
got it remastered.
in 5.1 surround sound.
that would be awesome.
Sheffield.
Oh, Mr. Sheffield! So I
You
just
think
been watching a lot of
it'll
Community.
stand up? Because sometimes you think something's so amazing from your youth, and you're watching it. Oh god, that's actually terrible.
I've never watched it since.
Are you scared? I saw some reruns a while ago, and it's still pretty good. I'll reassure you.
I reckon it's still pretty funny.
The Nanny.
Yeah.
I think it's classic sitcom. Like it's
It's
it was made during the peak of sitcoms. You know.
yeah, I think it'd stand up. I mean, it's just situational comedy and sitcom for those that are a bit more.
And, you know, it's personality driven, like
lingo.
Fran Drescher, like you know.
I mean, she's just a pretty amazing woman.
Fran Fine. Just somewhat segueing to what I was going to speak about later, but you know, I've been running. I think we mentioned on the show before. I'm running a backyard cinema program, outdoor cinema, and no one turned up, but I watched Rumblefish by Francis Ford Coppola. You didn't stay for Rumblefish.
No, I didn't.
And so I just watched that by myself, but it was the first time I ever watched it in high definition, and it's quite weird watching a black and white movie in high definition because it looks like it was filmed. It's as crisp as if it was filmed yesterday, but it's in black and white. And I think it was actually filmed in black and white film, unlike recent black and white films where they have to do the post. They don't make black and white films; they have to post process it into black and white.
Oh.
So
Because he made that on the sly while he was making Outsiders. Is that right?
yeah, yeah.
How do you make a film on the sly?
I don't know.
Surely it takes hundreds
It's also
of people, millions
the
of
copy
dollars.
I found was in DTS Sound, and it just sounds amazing. I mean, because I've always loved the soundtrack. It's one of the greatest film soundtrack of all time. As in, I wouldn't ever want to listen to the soundtrack by itself, but in context of the film, it is so amazing. And watching the whole movie in surround sound, it's so good, so good. Now going back to what you've been consuming. Sorry.
So Alison Brie Campbell.
Oh, which one are you? Are you a Brita fan or Alison?
Britta. Which Britta? Oh, Britta.
Whoa.
Firmly on one side of that divide. And I mean firmly.
Some have said the greatest blonde character to be on American television.
Britta?
Yeah.
She's pretty funny.
Because she's the first blonde character that's flawed.
What? That's ridiculous.
She's a pretty good character.
Yeah, but
The greatest.
You haven't even seen her de-evolution.
She's
yet.
probably...
she goes way.
Don't
she,
spoil it for him.
oh,
Spoilers.
De-evolution's just enough to...
Ooh,
more like
Terrible.
deconstruction.
to whet my taste buds. Whet my appetite. Well, she's probably second to Cece Babcock from The Nanny.
Yeah, as is her.
Yeah, Alison Brie.
Because I was rather enamored when I watched the first 2
Oh,
seasons.
were
of
you,
And
Frederick?
if the listener wants to go back into
And
the
if you're watching
archives-
Mad Men simultaneously...
Yeah, I was, because she's
Yeah.
Pete Campbell's wife, so it was
Whose wife?
Pete Campbell.
Yeah,
The annoying guy.
I know.
Right.
What?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
The one with the bitch face.
He does have a bit of a bitch face. Is that what you mean? Or are you talking about Alison Brie?
I think there's a famous website, is it Pete Campbell's bitch face? And it's all just
He doesn't own a toilet, does he?
screenshots. Pardon?
He doesn't own a toilet, does
Own.
he? In real life. the actor.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's like a minimalist dude. He like lives in an empty apartment with a laptop and a phone, and he uses his neighbour's toilet or something.
You're so full of shit.
Oh, what? There's an interview he gave where he was like, "Yeah, man,
What
whatever."
a douchebag.
You know, the guy who runs Facebook.
That's totally pointless.
What's
Get
his
rid of the
name? Mark
laptop, my boy.
Zuckerberg. He only eats meat that he kills by his own hand.
That's okay. That's all right.
You're talking to Fred. He was raised on a farm.
Yeah.
Getting rid of your toilet, that's just pointless. But like using your neighbour's toilet, how annoying is that going to be? Knock, knock, knock.
It's that millionaire from Mad Men.
Gotta do a shit again. Gotta come over.
Look, I don't know. It's just something I read about him.
I don't believe you.
Anyway, Fred's called Alison Brie on his
You can check.
list.
You can check the archives.
It's archived. It's archived. Now, is number one fan a bit worried with you heading over to the States? And the fact that you're going to Comic-Con and she'll be there.
You going to
And
Comic-Con?
you've got one of those deluxe
There's one in
passes
Denver.
where you skip the queue and you get to
And I get to say hi. My
and
girlfriend
get a
said I could
photo
bang
with
you.
her. And
Are you up for it?
and then you're like, yeah, you
So
can,
it's
you can
on.
cash that
This
check.
is cool.
Yeah.
I don't think she's that worried.
Who, Alison Brie? Or
Well, Alison Brie should be really worried, but I don't think the
why?
fan-
What are you going to do to her?
charm?
Oh, so she shouldn't be worried. She should be like excited.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
turn on the Aussie charm.
G'day,
mate.
Vincent Carthesia, who plays Pete Campbell, lives ascetically. Asceticism describes a lifestyle characterized by abstinence from various worldly pleasures, often with the aim of pursuing religious and spiritual goals. Many religious traditions, e.g. Buddhism, Jainism, Christian desert fathers, include practices that
fathers.
involve restraint with respect to actions of body, speech, and mind. He eschews car ownership, instead walking or taking mass transit, which I'm all about. He currently lives in a bungalow he describes as a wooden box with no mirrors. And he has been selling...
He lives in a wooden box.
And he has been selling or giving away everything he owns. Carthesia is a vegetarian and has chosen not to have children, describing both decisions as green choices. He has since stated he now owns a car.
What?
Reference 11, The Look, Mr. Vincent Castro, an article on MrPorter.com. So now he's like a hipster, I'm guessing.
An ultra hipster.
Oh, look at this badass mustache.
Wow. He looks
That
pretty
is
cool
a
there.
great poster.
So he's kind of a douchebag and sounds like he's Pete Campbell in real life.
Wow.
For someone who is like not about worldly things, he was looking pretty handsome in that photo on
Yeah.
that fashion blog.
That's what I'm saying. He knows the car now, so maybe
No
it's just a
mirrors.
phase.
No mirrors.
Purely accidental. He never knows.
Handsome by accident. Oops. I can't help being this gorgeous.
We smoked a lot
Just
of-
Do you
rolled out of
guys-
my wooden box and
Do you guys practice any absence from any particular thing that you like drawn a line in the sand about?
I don't know. I'm pretty like no porn now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty like no pornography now. That's a thing that a conscious decision I made. I was like, this isn't doing me any good. This isn't helping. No more of this.
Any food products or
No, we talked about this. I try not to eat lamb and
lamb
and venison. Oh, veal. Which one's the baby cow?
Veal. Venison's a deer.
Venison's a deer. I'm fine with deer. I try not to, but then if someone gives it to me, I'm like, I'll eat it. It's like Buddha. No, not Buddha. The Dalai Lama. He was like, you just got to eat what you're given.
Yeah.
I think he said that. Just like that. You just got to eat what you're given. Stop complaining. Don't make a fuss. No one's that impressed that you're a vegetarian. It's better to be nice to people.
I've always been against
That's a quote.
masturbation. And it wasn't until my doctor actually said, "Look, you're putting yourself at risk of testicular cancer."
How did that? I know this doctor.
Because you meant
patient
to
confidentiality.
ejaculate 2 or 3 times a week.
Did
to
you ask him about
reduce
not
your chance of
doing it?
testicular
Yeah, what
cancer?
did
I don't understand how this
Did
came
you
up.
have a pain in
You
your...
don't have to say anything. Of
I just
course.
became obsessed with wet dreams, and you just don't get wet dreams if you masturbate.
You became obsessed with them, or you started getting them a lot?
No, but I wanted, I strived for them because they were these amazing experiences.
And so you went to the doctor?
Task.
No, this was just
I need
an
more wet dreams.
unrelated business, and I was just discussing things.
And what you said, I'm really into wet dreams. How do I have more?
No, it was just they were just asking like, how often do you masturbate? And I was like, well, hardly ever.
Oh.
And they were like, you realize you need to ejaculate 2 or 3 times a week to reduce your chance of testicular cancer.
So you were blue balling it, and the doctor was...
I wasn't
worried.
really blue because I wasn't putting rarely, I wasn't often putting myself in a situation where I need to be blue balled.
But you don't have control over that. It's like women have periods, men just produce sperm.
Yeah, once a month.
24/7.
Yeah, once a month.
Sperm
you get this
factory.
amazing dream, and the body says, "Hey, I'm."
Is it truly wet?
Pun? Well,
a month's
when I
worth.
was younger, it's out of control. But when you get older, you learn, you know what it is, and you can control it when you dream, and there's
Never had a wet
no
dream, I
mess.
admit.
Too much masturbation, Fred.
Bree said that
No.
about me once.
I think I have.
Bree, our friend of Betty and the Beast.
Yeah.
For reference.
She
I
once
just-
said, you masturbate too much, that's why you've never had a wet dream.
I just wake up before it happens.
So isn't that
had a
kind
bit-
of the same thing?
Beep, beep.
Yeah, but then,
Oh.
yeah.
Is that your phone?
Actually, it might be off. It might explain things. No, it's on.
Is anyone in our chat room at the moment?
I haven't.
ASL, what's up? We're just checking now if you've sent us a message and we haven't responded.
You need to know. But yeah, that was one thing that I went along.
But that's not really abstinence.
I
if
went
you're-
3 years without having any form of like fast food, like Hungry Jack's or McDonald's.
Oh, just boxes and boxes of mee goreng.
Well, that doesn't count.
Yeah, where people draw their line in the sand is interesting.
I don't
'Cause it
think
doesn't have to be straight. It can be quite squiggly.
Yeah,
and,
I don't think
like,
yeah.
I don't think I've
includes
ever
it.
drawn a line in the sand for anything, and it probably should.
What about when you go to the States? You're going to be drawing some lines, aren't you?
No, I'm gonna become super fat.
Oh, but what about all the...
No, I'm drawing a
You need a
line there.
Fitbit, Fred, to watch your
Oh, can
the
you
intake.
can you import them into the States?
You can probably buy it cheaper. It's cheaper to
Oh.
buy him when he gets there on his Amazon account.
I don't want a computer telling me what to do.
It doesn't tell you what to do.
Just
it
tells you what you've done.
It gives you it just tells you the opportunity you have to do what you want.
What?
Is it a suppository?
No, but okay.
It looks like one though. Oh, look, he's readjusting his
could.
seat so he can take it out.
And then it would tell you the G-forces in your butt.
Can you wipe it down before you pass it around?
It says like, okay, so today,
Does it tell you when to wank?
no.
To read-
But apparently it's every 7 days. Well, no, okay. No, I was listening to some people say that if you want to donate sperm, right, to get the maximum amount of ejaculate, right, you have to abstain for 7 days.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking that's the optimum time. It goes with the weekly cycle.
But that's for maximum payload.
Yeah, but isn't that the most satisfying when you're just like...
Oh dear, I'm just imagining you in your bunk there, asleep at night, and then...
You don't want to shine a blue light on the roof of that bed.
You waking up
It'll be like
screaming.
deep water oil.
James, are you alright? Yes.
So I've burnt. This tells me that I've spent over my daily what I'm normally meant to burn. I've burnt over 1,181 calories over what I meant. So that gives me, those calories to do whatever I like.
What are you going to do with them?
Well, I'm drinking bourbon and sugar cubes and chocolate and chips and.
Does it, as exercise, can you put wanking?
I don't know.
How
I haven't looked at
furiously, depends how furiously you went at it.
Masturbation.
Fast and Furious. No, it'd be more like Tokyo Drift, I reckon.
Under cardiovascular or strength would it be?
Well, it depends what style.
Masturbation.
Would you have you? Yeah, I know.
No
you've got
results found on the cardio.
Look
Am
at
I
it.
spelling it
I
right?
bet people have. I bet people have developed like a hack for it. You know.
Yeah. Strength.
Just put it under
Also
like
under strength.
tennis. I don't know.
No results found under strength either.
Or put it under like choking a chicken.
You think someone's hidden it in the...
Yeah, I reckon.
Oh, okay.
I reckon. Well, you know, put it on the Fitbit. I reckon. Some. Oh, why don't you hold the Fitbit while you do
I
it?
like to think of it as bonus calories.
That'd be like massive.
Yeah.
It's like a little surprise at the end of the day.
What's a little surprise?
It's like you hit your limit, but you get this, extra bit of weight loss just because you...
You wanked.
Because you had to rub one out.
Yeah.
I think the amount of mass is just tiny.
You know, you've got this like no masturbation policy, but have you ever thought about doing the stranger?
Getting someone else to do it for
Get
you.
your hand out.
No.
Oh,
Some
sitting
alley-
on your left hand
Yeah.
for a while until it goes...
Yeah, until it goes numb and then
Yeah.
doing. Does that break your rule? Because like if you could be Skyping someone at the same time.
Who's he Skyping?
I just
I
don't
don't
find
know.
it very satisfying.
Or get on chat roulette and get a stranger going.
Someone-
Double stranger the lot.
Somebody else's dick, yeah.
So, Fred, what have you been consuming?
Haven't we even gone past me and consuming?
Have you finished what you're talking about?
Yeah. Fred, you were telling us about Alison Brie.
I haven't consumed her in a while.
But you've still got some old socks in the corner that might help.
Beep, beep.
That was James being offensive. He doesn't get a text when he's offensive. It's just like standard.
He just gets a radio show.
Yeah.
Do you think you're a shock jock, James?
I'm saying he is definitely.
Should we
a shocker.
discuss that this episode?
Well-
about Australian shock jocks and their effect on British people?
I think it was an isolated case.
Or was she Indian? I know they're burying her in India.
Indo-English, I don't know.
Fred, what have you been consuming?
I watched a movie at the Backyard Cinema.
What was it?
Happy Coincidences?
Happy accidents.
Happy Accidents?
Oh, well,
what,
I was
like a
hoping
wet
Campbell
dream?
would come to see this so that we could discuss this as a
Oh,
group.
sorry. I couldn't make it to that one.
It was pretty good.
Who's it by?
It's got Marissa Tomei.
Brad Anderson, something that's director and writer. He's the guy who did he directed The Machinist,
Oh, yeah.
which I've never even seen. But I should go and see now his movies since I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
It's,
It's
romantic sci-fi.
It's definitely not
About wet dreams?
sci-fi. No.
Not sci-fi.
No, I'm cutting the sci-fi. Sci-fi is a plot device. It's no actual sci-fi.
Oh.
So what would you need for it to be a romantic sci-fi?
Lightsabers?
Like actual sci-fi.
So what is sci-fi to you? Does Star Wars count as sci-fi?
Yeah, because it's got imagined science in
Yeah,
it.
but there's nothing about science in it, really.
No, but it's science fiction, so it's
Is it?
yes.
How is it different to like Lord of the Rings? Is that
'Cause
science fiction?
Yeah.
No, that's fantasy, but it's hard to tell those
Well,
apart. Both
I
of them
think
are
I would
imagined
say
worlds.
Star Wars is fantasy as well.
Well, yeah, you can.
They don't
Speculative fiction.
deal- I mean, Star Trek is obviously sci-fi because it deals with the science that's part of the idea, but
Yes.
Star Wars, that's just a setting.
Well,
and so
Star Wars is
you could
actually
say
set
there is-
long ago.
in a galaxy
In
far,
the
far
past,
away.
that's fantasy. Okay, Star Wars, yeah, I don't know, but
Well, what's a parsec?
it's an angle. It's a unit of distance. It's like a certain number of light years.
Is that factual? Or is that like a...
That's factual. So when he goes, I can do the Tom Brady run in 10 parsecs, it's like saying I can get to Subiaco in 4 kilometers. It doesn't make any sense.
What if you could, though?
Yeah, well, you could be like, it's the shortest route. So maybe
Yeah,
it makes
exactly.
sense.
Isn't that what he means?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think
I
it's
think
a
that
valid
is what he
criticism. Of
Did he
Star Wars.
shoot first, or did Greedo?
I don't know. Why are you asking me this? I'm the least Star Wars fan
Well,
here.
you're the nerd.
Well, not if that stuff. James is the film nerd. Go ask him about Star Wars.
No, I'm
Fred.
just regular buff now.
Now,
You're the
Happy
abs nerd.
Accidents is a member of one of my sort of favourite genres of film that I've been myself as a mission. I'm the one out of 7 billion people on Earth to try and define this as a genre.
Is it the space freak out
Rom-com
genre?
sci-fi?
No, not rom-com sci-fi. I'm trying to define this genre of film. And I don't have a good name for it to catch. I need a catchy brand name for it to catch on.
No, that was one.
You know, like isn't
Abadabs.
Dogma 97 had a name, and you know, there's all these genres of games like RPG, and now there's MoMA, is the latest thing, or whatever it's called, and
Moporg.
This, I feel like this is a genre, and I know, Campbell,
But
you haven't
what's
seen
the-
Happy Accents, but I know you've seen
I
one
haven't.
of the main members of this genre that I'm defining is the
nanny?
Don Juan
Oh, Don Juan DeMarco.
DeMarco.
One of my favorite films of all time.
It's where a character states he is someone, and the rest of the people don't believe it, so he has to prove that he is that one, or by the process of a journey, he proves that he's someone, or maybe it's still ambiguous at the end of the thing. Is he or isn't
That's
he
not
that
a genre.
person?
That's a plot device, isn't it?
I guess so, but I'm saying it's a genre. Isn't
I'm saying it's not a genre.
If enough films were made about
Yeah.
it, it would be a genre.
Yeah.
It's like rom-com, like
because
you know,
like
guy
horror
meets girl and the girl
Yeah.
thinks he's obnoxious, and then you're like, it's like the same plot again and again and
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, I suppose.
and then it's a genre.
So you just have to
Except
work.
for Kate and Leopold, that was awesome because it had time travel.
Well, so did this one, the Happy Accident.
What?
Yeah, but see, Kate and Leopold is same sci-fi Roma time travel thing.
Holy
but
crap!
It doesn't.
Is it the same thing? Is he
no,
who he says
because
he
there's
is?
there's no real doubt about
No.
who he is, because you see it from his point of view.
Ah.
So the audience, know he's a time traveler.
What about like?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Rather than Happy Accents, all from Marissa Tomei's to me, and
Is Marissa Tomei in it?
yeah.
Is that why you
So-
love it so much? A little bit.
One
Put
of
that
the
down as a
many
little bit.
reasons I love it for it. It's
She's
Roma,
pretty
because it's
amazing.
romance sci-fi, which is the genre I'm trying to write about.
That's a pretty slim genre. Rom
No, but that's
sci-fi.
the films I'm writing are that genre. So
Rom-sci-com-fi.
yeah, and
That's the one we just named it.
We did it.
click, and it's this genre that Don Juan DeMarco has.
Now, Don Juan DeMarco, that is probably up there. It's probably one of my favorite films. It's amazing.
That's why I was hoping you'd come and you see these other
Sorry.
films, because the other film we showed was
Sorry, Rumblefish, wasn't it?
no. Well, long story short, the other film that was meant to go with this is Finding Neverland, where a guy who claims he is the reincarnation of Elvis.
Oh.
Why? But that's a pretty broad plot device. Why do you love it so much?
I don't know. All the films I see are good. You know,
There's no bad examples of this plot device.
Well, some people would say K-Pax.
Oh.
That's part of that same genre.
Where he eats bananas.
No, it's Kevin Spacey. He says he's an alien.
But there's a banana thing in there, isn't there?
I can't remember.
I never saw
So
it.
this genre includes any film where someone doesn't know who they are,
No, they
No,
know.
they know who they are. Everyone
but who
else
they
doesn't.
are is supposedly
and they're
impossible.
trying to convince other people that.
Well, not
Or even-
necessarily.
not even.
They,
Not even.
other people were just skeptical about it.
Yeah, like in Don Juan, like
He says he is Don Juan,
he
but
says
people
he's
are
Don
like,
Juan, and people are like, "That's impossible," and he's like, "No big deal. I just am. Get over it." But then he gets put in a mental institution. And
Yeah. There's
pretty much the
the
best film
TV
ever.
series that was rebooted.
The Nanny.
No, the Cupid, by Rob Thomas, the guy who did Veronica Mars and all that.
Yeah.
And Party Down. He did a series with Jeremy Piven where he claimed he was Cupid and he made people fall in love, and they rebooted it recently,
Was it
but
Grim
then
and
again
Gritty?
failed.
Oh.
But I love the Jeremy Piven version of Cupid. It's so cool. It's one of my favourite TV shows.
Oh,
And at one point it was all on YouTube. I don't know if it still is.
wow.
I rewatched it on YouTube in crappy quality once.
I don't like YouTube very much.
What?
I'm more of a Vimeo sort of
Oh,
guy.
okay.
So you're a snub.
Just got more bandwidth, I guess. YouTube actually doesn't work on my PowerBook G4.
Speaking of bandwidth, one thing I did consume at this physics conference was a talk by someone who did designing the NBN.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually going to be pretty awesome.
Well, now
I
you're
got excited.
now you're
I got
buoyed
very
by
excited, yeah.
it. So what are they doing that's different from other NBNs around the world?
They are putting two dedicated optical fibers
Mm-hmm.
to every address in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say every address, it's like the parks, even a park, which is an address, gets two dedicated optical fibers.
Mm-hmm.
So that if someone wants to put, just in case for some reason someone needs,
Puts a
you know,
wireless network there.
yeah, or they want to put a kiosk there or a security camera or, you know, who knows, Wi-Fi hotspot.
Mm-hmm.
Even the parks get two dark fibers. And it's just going to be fiber everywhere.
So
gonna be
do
crazy.
you get gigabyte per fiber? Gigabit per fiber?
So you can get this at the I can't remember what they were saying it is now, but the guy was saying if they, pulled out, they could hire some engineer to pull out the boxes and put in the right boxes. They could get 100 gigabit. So if they did the full wavelength multiplexing, 100 gigabit connection.
Well, that's the idea. Obviously, with ADSL, we started off with just 512K, and then they were like, oh, you can go up to 1.5 megabit, and then you can go up to 8 megabit, and now you can go up to 24 megabit, theoretically, but if it's limited, because it's copper, it's limited by
it's
distance.
probably reaching the theoretical limit.
And then in America, they have this thing called Duxon 1 and Duxon 2, which is like even more, it's like 32 megabit over copper.
Yeah.
What are they doing in Korea, though?
They got
Can they do the same thing over optical, where they keep finding new ways to send stuff?
And so this is what this guy's saying.
faster?
So I think they're building it. I can't remember what the number is, but it might be gigabit per second. It's like what optical fiber can do now. My headphones are going to fuck up. But he was saying that the fiber, the physical fiber, you have to change the things at the box, something in the exchange, is theoretically capable of doing right now 100 gigabit second if they upgrade it, which they haven't, but it's still crazy fast without the upgrade. So it'll just be out of control.
What?
Every single house has gigabit per second internet.
Yeah, I mean that's the idea is that you
the
idea is there's no real bottlenecks. The thing about
bottleneck's going to be the cable to the overseas places, but he was saying that's not their problem.
yeah, but if we actually do the NBN and the other government doesn't scrap it,
I think it's on.
Businesses in Australia will be built to just serve Australians. So they'll be like,
So
I'm an Australian company. I'm going to serve you 4K video to your house whenever you want it on demand.
That's why I think it's going to be amazing, because it within Australia, any address. Okay, so maybe not out in some tiny town in the.
And then when we do get the pipes upgraded to the other countries, guess what companies have got an established business to serve 4K video? Australian companies, and they can go create worldwide corporations that serve the best quality businesses.
So because I went to this talk, because I heard OBN's going to be, it's like a bunch of political crap. But this guy was a communications engineer. He's like, I don't care about politics. Our job is just to build this network, and he just described it, and it's just like, holy shit. Every 92.7% of Australians are going to have a fibre, it's probably maybe 90% will have fibre in a big city. Most country towns over 500 people will get some form of high-speed internet.
What if you miss out, Fred? What if your home's like the one
No,
home?
every single home gets 2 fibres.
It's only places
Including
like
parks.
Peppermint.
Park, some park.
Why do they need 2?
Because they're building in redundancy. Because they're saying, if you subdivide,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and you just don't know. Because I think the massive cost is digging the trench and having the dude come out and plug it all in. So
laying one or twos.
So it costs
whatever.
1, costs 2, it's nothing.
Right.
So that'll be crazy, just crazy.
How
internet.
long is it going to take to roll all that out?
2015, 2016, something like that.
No, that's 2020.
I was going to say that's not
Maybe.
very far
so
away.
the guy was saying that
It's not coming to Leaders till 2017.
his target was to do 800,000 properties by now, and so he's basically designing it, and then he sends it off to the people to actually put down the fibers.
Good gracious, ours is audacious.
But my main concern is how they're doing the rollout. Like, are they doing the backbone first? So,
Yes.
Our connection to Sydney will be better before.
Yeah, so he's saying that they are doing. He's saying this is how I want to do it, and sometimes political processes get away. He's saying he wants, so it's like this tiered system. So there's like these 120 areas which are all interconnected through some crazy fiber, and then you have some station which serves, I think it was 1,000 houses or maybe 10,000 houses. I can't remember. And then there's like a ring of fiber which circles around, and that'll do 250 homes. So that's the smallest block, and they're just being rolled out. So I think the idea is once you do one you basically do a whole suburb, a whole massive ring, which is like a few thousand houses, finish that off, and then you go on to the next one.
Yeah. I mean, if you voted for an independent and they got in, you'll get NBN next year. If you're a sheep and just voted for a major party, you don't get till 2017.
Yeah, so he didn't say how they choose who gets it, and he said that we're not allowed to ask him how they choose who gets it.
No, but
So I think the
basically,
answer
if you
is,
have
it's
someone
political.
voting for you in Parliament,
Yeah.
you get it straight away.
Yep.
If you voted like a sheep and voted for a major party like Fred does, you don't get it till 2017.
Doesn't matter who I vote for. I'm in this massively safe Liberal seat. So
So you just
That's
voted
the
Liberal.
attitude.
I'm just going to go along with the
I
sheep.
voted Liberal. I voted anyway. But my point is that it's actually sounds amazing, just amazing.
How does it compare globally to other?
Well, I don't think any other country has, because all this crap about Google Fiber, all America's like, oh, this is Google Fiber.
No,
Come
well-
to our town. This is like Google Fiber to all of Australia.
Yeah, exactly. And Google Fiber was rolled out to one city, Kansas City, right? And everyone's like, all the major businesses are like, we should just move to Kansas because we can just rent a house. And this is what they're doing right now in Kansas City, is I'm going to be the next Instagram. I have to be in Kansas City so that I can run my business at they just rent a dodgy house in the suburb that's got it, and they run the whole business from that, because anything that they can't do in Kansas City itself, they have a perfect connection to teleconference to anywhere else in the world,
Yeah.
Cool.
Something like that. So that was the talk of the conference where I, instead of the physics stuff, this was actually by almost a politician. I went, wow, that'll be pretty cool when it happens. It's crazy.
So
much-
Perth, top of the list is Vic Park, is it?
Yeah. That's
Is that after
I'm
the
moving there
CBD,
next year
or-
to do Jimmerish Fem.
Yeah.
We're going to broadcast in 4K.
You can
Sweet.
listen to us eating chips in like HD sound.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, someone was asking me at work about the podcast and asking me if I really dislike hearing my voice on the podcast, listening back.
I don't like mine.
Oh.
Didn't realise I had such a nasal voice.
Oh.
When I'm on a rant, I'm like, you guys don't listen to me. Oh, what? I
I'm
don't like
like-
that voice, but on like Betty the Beast, where I'm like,
Yeah,
you
but that's
should
'cause
wear a
it's got-
condom.
'cause Jane-
That'd be the good way to do it.
Is that what you talk about?
Have you listened to Betty and the Beast?
No.
I listened for the first time a few days ago.
Thanks a lot, Campbell. It's been around since 2009.
I know.
Is it
I've
always
been
like
busy. It was filthy. I was blushing. It's worse than fanging around.
Really?
It's out of control.
Is this just because of the guest, or is this every
No,
week?
it's the questions we get.
It's the questions.
Ah.
The questions they get are just ridiculous. Oh, beep beep.
Just texting you because you can't get to me.
Filthy stuff.
Why are we getting these filthy questions?
I don't
People just
know.
email us and tell us they can't tell us apart. Boring. Can you throw us some Betty and the Beast questions?
Yeah, why don't you just get us to answer some of them?
Beasts.
No.
It's just beasts we're called.
Beasts.
You can send
Oh, could we be the
Fangin'
beast
Around
masters?
fans can
We could be
send
the
their-
beastie.
Fangin'
boys.
Around fans can send the questions to mailbag@fangingaround.com.
Or
Send
they
us some raunchy questions. I'm going now. I send them anyway.
Now, we're drinking Booker's. Now, I just want you to smell it. I just love the smell. It's just the most perfect smell there is. You wouldn't want Zoe to poke some under her armpits.
Dab some Booker nose on her neck before a big night out.
Do it. Why not?
Just pour out her Versace perfume, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Pour in some.
And then you rub your face with sunscreen.
this,
How'd
I
that
met-
work out for you, Cam?
this guy at work took me on like a training
Brilliant.
round. And he has,
To train you in what?
like, to teach you the rounds that he does.
Oh,
So
training
that
round.
if he goes on holidays, which he will be, I can do it for him. He has one of those, like a Mitsubishi Magna, like a red one, probably early 2000s. And
Is this Fangin news?
I guess this is Fangin news.
Oh,
I haven't
wow.
got to what
Car
I'm
reviews.
consuming, but I'm just skipping it. This is what I'm consuming and Fang, because I was sitting in this car for 5 hours today.
Goodness.
And he's lowered the suspension right down. So every bump you have to go really slowly over, or it just goes... And he was pretty much... Even when he slowed down, it's scraping over
On
the
a
bottom.
on a Magna or a Lancer?
Mitsubishi Magna. Yeah.
Isn't Magna sort of like a family car?
No, but they're big V8, no V6s.
Yeah.
I think.
I
So I
thought
think
it was a
it's
family car.
Okay.
no, but I think it's a bit of a like Bogenhoon car.
Oh,
as well.
like a bit of a Falcon Commodore
It is,
vibe.
yeah.
It's
It's that.
Mitsubishi's version of the Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
yeah.
that, but I thought it was like the Camry, like just
No,
boring.
no. It's
Fang.
the sneaky Bogue car.
Now,
Cult classic, mate.
but that was not the real issue. Okay, he had equipped the exhaust pipe where the muffler is, for one of those extra fat pipes that makes your engine sound like a really big engine, like vroom, 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 vroom.
Yeah.
And it's really loud. I don't know. Are they called howlers or something?
That's just a muffler.
I don't know.
No, but it's intentionally huge, so it echoes.
So not just to muffle. It's not
It's
to
the opposite
muffle the
of
sound.
muffle, yeah.
I've got one of those on my motorbike.
To make it extra loud?
Yeah. It came with it.
Well,
Do you have it on there right now?
Yeah.
Do you use it?
What do you mean use it? It's the exhaust.
Why don't you take it off? It's really annoying.
yeah.
Just deal with it. No,
I had to sit in this car for 5 hours. It's just going...
no, because it's not ridiculous. It's a
on a
subtle
Mitsubishi Magna, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I'm not driving a Mitsubishi Magna. I drive a 500cc motorbike.
And I'm just like, you can't even hear the music on the radio because it's just overpowering the whole voice. It's not that satisfying because it's clearly coming from the back of the car, not where the engine is at the front. Because is that what they're trying to do to make it sound like you've got a more powerful engine than you have?
Well, it's for people standing on the street when you're doing, up and down.
To impress you as you drive down the boner coaster.
It's when you want to put your foot off, it goes... Blah, 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 blah.
I'm
That's
spending the whole
sound.
car going this because I'm so embarrassed to be in this car.
Because you're usually in your little Toyota Echo.
Yeah, when you do your rounds and he goes into a Toyota Echo and you're like...
I know. On Friday we have to do it in my car, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, look at this piece of piece."
He'll be like, "Okay, you faggot, suck my dick." And you're like, "Meh, it's a bit homophobic."
I'm hoping that I, at some point, will officially inherit the car and I get commissioned.
Which one? The Magna?
No, the Echo.
Oh, you're gonna commission me to
Campbell to
Finally your dream
soup
after
up
so
the
many...
car.
What are you guys going to do? What'll be the number one?
I just want something to make it feel like a bit peppy,
So you're going to get Campbell to do like mechanical personal offense Campbell. I was thinking you could paint the bonnet or something like that. So you get Campbell to like change the camshaft.
Yeah, he wants
like
me to do something to make it peppier. Install some nitro or something.
Well, I remember I tried to get you to do the greatest post of all time, which is that ninja who's like playing his guitar and like blowing all the women's clothes off. Like we can get that going.
On the hood?
Yeah, on the hood.
Of the Echo.
How are you allowed to do that? How offensive can you get before the government...
I don't know.
Probably
Steps
pretty
in.
offensive.
Sure, you
I've
can
seen
do
people
it
driving with
artistically
stickers
so
that say,
the
"Fuck off, we're
nipples
full."
and flaps are hidden.
No, I'd want to show off all the flaps.
Yeah.
Is that even the conditions of doing the...
Yeah.
But that's what's happened.
Artistic integrity.
Is obviously the paint on the bonnet is not as good as quality as everything else, so it's all just the bonnet's fading. So I'm
Well,
like,
it needs a repaint anyway,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Airbrush the shit out of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Naked chick fighting in
Have you
rain.
ever done airbrushing?
Never. Can't be that hard.
Something-
Let me
a
try in your
medium
car.
you want to experiment with?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of artists work in airbrush. It's pretty amazing.
It'd be earner on the side if you could master it.
nice little bunts. Yeah, I could definitely do it. If anyone wants any
You got
naked ladies,
You got the background. You've been drawing hot chicks since you were like 12 years old.
since before I could pick up a pencil, I've been drawing ladies naked. Did you guys see? Speaking of drawings, did you guys see those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 4 concept sketches? That,
Yes.
what do you think of those?
Oh,
These
I
were
don't
recently
know.
released to the public. They were
Who's-
auctioned off.
Whose concept were they?
They were they Eastman's concept? Kevin Eastman, who was the original creator of the one of the
I
original
don't know.
creators of the Turtles and
I just looked
illustrators.
at the pictures. I didn't read that.
So these recently went on auction, were purchased, and then the man who purchased them then scanned them and let everyone have a look at them. But it was just concept art for the 4th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, which I think was called... Oh, are you able to look it up, James? It was called, like, Mega Mutation or something. And I think the idea was that all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles underwent a second mutation. So Leonardo could turn his skin into metal. Donatello could, like, project all these, like, mirages. Shredder became like super mega super duper Shredder because he only became Super Shredder in the second one. Yeah.
I
not
may have said
loving
this.
it.
I wasn't paying attention, but they introduced the 5th turtle.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Kirby.
Kirby.
What
Hey-
artist is he named after?
Jack
Amazing.
the King Kirby.
Okay.
Yeah, all these
Maybe
characters.
named after a classical artist?
No, I don't know. All of these characters were then named after, like, then current comic creators.
Have
Oh,
you?
okay. Maybe it was a placeholder
Do you
name.
follow April O'Neil, the porn star, on Twitter or Tumblr?
No.
It's worth checking out.
Is it... So it is the... April O'Neil is the same April O'Neil from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? She picked up that name from that.
Yeah. Oh, so you do know who I'm talking about?
Who are you talking about?
Oh, we got him out.
No, I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just never figured that one out.
She always
The
wears
connection.
she's just like naked and she's wearing a Ninja Turtles backpack all the time.
Sounds like
Everyone's
someone
got their
always
own
follows
And I
shit.
think at Comic Con she always wears the the yellow jumpsuit kind of thing that from
Oh.
the cartoon.
So the fourth turtle film. Here we go. Here's some of the concept art. There's some great stuff. There is also an evil April. I think the other plot line was that there would be turtles from an alternate dimension that
The
came.
Foot
where
Walks
everyone
Again.
was- I think it had a couple of titles.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, this one only.
There's an evil
So-
April who's naked with like
Oh yeah. This
with
is
like magic powers or something.
So this is by a direct. Oh, you're killing my mic, Jay. It's by some director
yeah.
who comes up with the idea and then gets someone to draw it, or someone draws it and then he likes it.
I don't
or
know what
just
the process was here.
drew it at night. And you're like, because you just think it would be totally sweet to have these ideas going around.
I don't know. I don't know what the series of events was. So these illustrations were by
Well,
one of the
usually
guys.
when you're trying to put a movie together to present to get money for it, you get.
But I just saw
You
the
do
sketches
stuff
then.
like you
They
do-
look a little bit like you can almost see the pencil like trying to color in the lines.
Yeah, but this
No,
was the
but
guy who
that's
made the
concept
turtles,
art.
though.
Oh, okay.
This is the original creator.
the comic book creator.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, then why do they look so terrible?
Well,
That's what I wonder.
Maybe
sketches.
it's bullshit that this guy got scammed.
What? Campbell was doing live pictures on the show,
They look better than
and they're
that,
not
I'd say.
compared to his. What's it called? No, your
Fred
book-
just looked at the one of April O'Neil naked
is like, yeah, okay.
and gave that one a passing
That
grade.
rates, yeah.
Fred, you need a blanket. You're shivering.
Now, as for what I've been consuming,
This is why our show never gets done.
in preparation for the end of the world, I watched Apocalypto, Mel Gibson's Apocalypto.
Oh, I
which
love that film.
You recommended, Campbell, and I've
Say nice things
always
about
wanted to see. But it has it's filmed by my most hated person to film, Dean Semler, who's the cinematographer. But despite that, it was still an awesome film. Really recommend it. If you
Can
see
I
it.
bump a consumption that I consumed?
Yeah, you got moths all over you.
Moth Attack.
Mothra.
On the plane back from Sydney, I watched this show, Doomsday Preppers.
I've been wanting to watch some of that.
It's basically these people, and they each have their own hypothesis of how the world's going to end. And they're all very, very unique. And they sort of hoard food and stockpile weapons. And they're all nuts. So the first guy thought the world was going to end because a solar flare will take out the transportation grid. And he's stockpiling...
What?
I don't know. He's like an old trucker. He's stockpiling guns and foods. And he's living on a farm so he can self-support himself, be self-sufficient. But he's massively obese. So at the end, they sort of critique their survival prep stuff. And they're like, well, you're all very well prepared, but your health's just going to let you down. Because he's never going to be able to fend for himself.
That's why I started my diet, because I was like, December 21st is coming up. Got to get fit and trim.
For the end time.
Yeah.
Well, this other lady, she was stockpiling food. Because when the end times come...
Canned food?
Canned foods, long life foods and cooking with it.
I'm buying up tuna.
And her and her husband learnt Morse code, so that if there's an intruder in the house, they can like tap out messages to each other. And they also learnt an obscure Filipino dialect, so they can communicate without being overheard. It's just
These people have better things to be doing.
well, she's like a retired millionaire. She ran a successful business and then retired and spent all her money.
I think you
on
could
it.
say thing about. Isn't there a TV show about the Kim Kardashian and her sisters? Isn't there something better they could be doing?
Semi-educational, because at the end they're like, "What are the chances of a solar flare?" And the answer's,
No.
0.
Well, this brings me. I want to skip forward to one of our questions of the week and introduce this topic now as we
Okay.
get into the episode. This is my question of the week. What is your preferred type of apocalypse?
Oh. Do you mean what would be my preferred type
If
of
the world
apocalypse?
had to end, or the world as we know it had
Or
to
do
end.
you mean like what apocalyptic stories do I like the best?
No. way would you like? Would you like a zombie apocalypse, like a disease, a solar flare, an asteroid, a super volcano?
Oh, if the world had to end, I'd like divine intervention.
So then
Like God
then
came
you'd know.
down.
But well, then you'd be
Like Jesus came back to...
That's very narrow. It could be
Wouldn't
Zeus.
wouldn't you have
Jupiter?
internal
Yeah.
damnation then, Campbell? You know,
Well, I
'cause-
don't know.
well,
I imagine if he made me, he's pretty tolerant.
well, he's destroying the entire Earth, so it doesn't sound like he's. too
Oh,
tolerant.
well, he's gone, oh, well, time to pack up my toys, you know, come
You're all
on.
going to heaven.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just. So your apocalypse is you go to heaven.
Oh, well, what's your apocalypse, Fred?
Well, that's a pretty weak apocalypse. I don't know.
Well, I've called heaven. So what do you want?
So I'm stuck with someone where I don't go to
Dibs
heaven.
on heaven.
It's just one where I die.
You can have Super Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones.
Live feedback from one of the Ryans. I'm trying to check out his location, but he hasn't listed it. So one of the Ryans, he says the type of exhaust that Bogans put on their car to make it extra loud is called a cannon.
Oh.
Okay.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Live. Sorry, what were we saying?
Well, I've chosen heaven.
Campbell
Heaven.
chose ascending to
Dibs.
heaven as his apocalypse.
Yep.
So the
The rapture.
The rapture,
But
yeah.
you'd be out. You wouldn't go. You'd be in hell.
But this would.
Are you a bad
I
person?
didn't specify what deity is coming to collect.
How convenient.
Yeah.
It's your deity.
It might be mine. That crusty sock.
So would that include like an alien race coming to
Yeah, I'm going to go with alien invasion.
alien invasion?
Oh, that'd be good as well.
That'd be kind of cool.
Because then at least you'd be
Get
like...
some knowledge.
Oh, a bit of. I mean, either of those. There's some information transmission.
Some answers, questions have been answered.
Yeah.
Super volcano. It's like, oh, we
Oh, it's
already
like,
knew.
volcanoes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
'Cause
Even
it's,
zombie, I'd be like, oh Christ, I know how this is going to end.
Zombies.
Not well.
Obviously, in Apocalypto, there's an alien invasion by the
There is.
Spanish.
Well, I love. Spoiler alert. That's the other apocalypse scenarios I enjoy reading about is colonization.
Mm.
There you go.
Do you think that if an alien race came here, they would want to colonize, or would they be advanced enough to go, let's not screw up this planet with our own diseases, let's just watch from a distance?
I don't think they'd want anything to do with us. They'd take one look and just go, fuck that.
Oh, I like the aliens are so much better.
Would they be
You're
like...
assuming that they are...
Would they be like the British who came to like Egypt and took home all the cool statues and put it in their own museum?
Oh, yeah,
back
maybe they'll
home?
come and
Yeah.
pinch all our good stuff.
But they wouldn't appreciate the art, you know?
Well, maybe they would.
Would they want to be tourists and just be amongst us? And they could be now.
Maybe they just want to, you know, get along.
Why?
What? Okay, so what do you think if humanity was advanced enough to reach another planet? What do you think we would do? And according to you, we're the scum, which the other aliens don't even want anything to do with. So whatever we do would be the worst. I don't think we'd just annihilate their planet.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We just kind of, you just appear and say like, hi, let's
Hey, how's it going?
communicate.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh, that was the least offensive thing you've said all night. So you choose aliens, James. Now, Fred, what do you want?
No, I'm
No,
down with
he
aliens.
dibsed it.
So I can't do aliens or rapture. Maybe like a robot
What about-
uprising.
Oh, yeah, AI.
Then at least it's another so that's another intelligence taking over, I guess. Is the point,
Okay.
which is at least comforting because you think maybe one day they'll evolve sort of curiosity and then they'll power on. Keep life going if it's mechanical.
What about
Keep telling our stories.
yeah.
Keep the Internet Archive alive and fanging around
what if
online.
like Curiosity came back and was like, what if they've been building like things on Mars? Like what were the other robots that were over there? There's 3 of them now, aren't there?
Curiosity,
Spirit and
opportunity?
Opportunity, maybe?
Yeah, well that sounds like trouble. Those 3.
Pathfinder.
Look, there's all sorts of. Why have we been sending all these
Viking.
kick-ass robots to Mars? They're going to unionize.
Mm.
Probably come back. They've been mining ore over there. What about mermaid apocalypse?
Mermaids.
Just don't go in the water.
You think that? What about tidal waves, tsunamis? I mean, all waves are tidal.
I
What
guess
about
they could-
tsunamis?
They could kill all ocean life.
Well, they could wash up. You saw what happened with floods. Then they could come
it's
and
not-
get you.
It's not high on my list.
That'd be pretty crazy.
I was listening to the Joe Rogan Experience, and they were speculating about how how we only know 5% of the ocean's organisms and stuff like that. What if there's like some plant down there that has the most insane drug ever that
that whole podcast is so dumb. I know our podcast is so dumb, but that's...
Have you ever done DMT?
No.
That's one of the favourite themes on the show.
They're just a bunch of... They just sit around talking about getting on drugs and...
Fred, get into it. You get into it while you're in Colorado. Just think of Joe Rogan up on a mountain getting his dog getting eaten by a mountain lion and stuff like
that. What? No, look. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Do you ever want to try DMT?
I don't know what that is.
Is
that like Pepsi Max?
It's the drug that your body secretes when it thinks it's dying. So that's why you have that. Your life flashes before you. That's what causes that.
And apparently,
effect.
It's one of those drugs where people have, like, they go on trips and they all sort of report the same thing. It's like a common. It's like,
out-of-body experience.
It's like these alien sort of beings running the clockwork of the universe, or something like that. Sort of. Everyone reports this definite.
But it's like going to another dimension.
Feeling of other people, and it's sort of common throughout all these people who tripped on this one thing. So
really,
people claim that it's sort of like.
What is it? DMT.
I think that's what I'm.
And Australia has one of those DMT-rich plants, which is the acacia.
Oh.
You're gonna. Breaking Bad.
I want to try leaves. Fred, find out so if scientists in your
Breaking Bad.
I'm not the biologist.
Processing DMT.
Harry's the biologist.
He's the bloody plant tree biologist.
Harry, where are you when we need you?
He's in Scotland.
We need some acacia
when he gets
DMT.
Back, start scraping it out because when in
and they say that all these cultures that are completely shut off from each other all talk about the third eye, and they reckon that the third eye is the gland. Inner circle? Yeah. The third eye is the gland that secretes the DMT when it thinks it's dying.
Yeah, Liz had a bad trip once.
On? Capote or whatever it is.
Peyote. Nah, it wasn't that. It was a bunch of other stuff.
Special K?
Nah, I don't think it was. She said she had that once and it was like the worst thing ever. But yeah, she had this bad trip and she hasn't even really talked about it because she like doesn't even want to talk about it. But there was what did she say? There were like all these people, but they were like the husks of people, and it was like that. She was talking about that sort of thing, like that they were invisible but all around us at all times. These like husks, shells of people that were organizing things and. Sounds super freaky. Yeah, she's like strong as she's super soldier, but like she's like won't talk about it. She's just like that's the most I've ever heard about it.
Don't you want to see that just so you can relate to her, be a better partner in life by being able to say,
"What?" Hey, by both just like trembling like leaves when we bring it out.
Yeah?
Common insanity.
I went there just so we're on the same grounding.
I don't know. I saw some freaky stuff on the internet once. I think I'm pretty well versed in freaky. So is this? Where do you get this stuff from? Acacia plants. It's a biological.
It's in
thing.
many different plants, but I think one of the easiest and richest sources is acacia. It's Australian acacia.
So people consume these plants around the world and freak out a bit.
Yeah, but it's meant to be like. I think if you want to know what it's like to die, you can take this drug, and that's what it's like to die.
So this is what Joe Rogan's sitting around talking about.
Yeah. He and Doug Stanhope, I think, took it together, and Joe Rogan had a good trip. Doug Stanhope had a bad trip.
You win some, you lose some.
But they both came out of it better men.
They're such a bunch of douchebags.
In my opinion.
I watched this to one of their show, and it's like sitting around with a bunch of stoners listening to them chat
But
about
they are stoned.
Yeah, I know they are.
They're in California. They have a medical marijuana license.
Oh, they have glaucoma or something. No back pain or something.
Yeah.
Or stress.
In Colorado, you don't even need that, Fred.
Fred, why are you so down on it
you
anyway?
Can get A-grade marijuana that doesn't make you all sleepy. You know?
I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, and I just wasn't a fan, I have to admit, so that's why I'm down on it.
It's the internet's second best podcast.
I skip most of the ones that have an MMA fighter because that's his other passion that I'm not that into.
Well, are we going to spend our whole podcast just bagging out on someone else's podcast?
No.
We've got to start a
I
beef
love
with
the
Joe
podcast.
Rogan.
I love his podcast. I'm down with it.
I'm indifferent.
What I
don't
want
even
you
know
guys
who this
to do is go get your iPod Touch, Fred.
Roper is.
You go get your iPhone, Campbell.
I've got it. Check.
Set up Stitcher, get an account.
Oh, I've been pitching tents. Do I have to start sewing now?
We're on Stitcher. Fang Around's on Stitcher. We need to get people to associate us with these podcasts that are cool. So I need you guys to go create an account. Subscribe to Fang Around on Stitcher. Subscribe to Joe Rogan.
Is that the same as TuneIn Radio?
No, it's a different service. TuneIn Radio is just regular radio like Jimmy FM. Subscribe to Fang Around. Subscribe to Fangin' Around. Subscribe to The Minutes. Subscribe to Tell 'em Steve Dave. Along with Fangin' Around, so we associated with the podcast that we feel philosophically.
Fine. What is this? Stitcher.
Yeah. We're on Stitcher. Stitcher.
Coming up with Stitch and Bitch, Stitch and Bake, Stitch in 9, Stitcher. Stitcher Radio.
Are we
still pitching tents?
Yeah, we're on tent.
Picture.
We're on tent as fangaround.tent.is. Now, after the movie nights, I had set up, obviously, the back garden to be completely mosquito-proof. So I'm just like, you know what? I should just sleep out here. So I just slept out under the stars. And there's not many stars in Perth, obviously, because of the light pollution. But I woke up at... Sorry?
I couldn't hear you. You need to be closer to the
I woke up at 4 a.m. and... which is about where the sun starts to come up.
Was it that time of the month?
But I was just looking up the sky, and I started...
Time of the week, Cam.
I started counting satellites, and in about a 6-minute period of looking at the sky, I saw 8 satellites, 2 of them that were blinking.
Were they planes?
No, definitely satellites.
How do you know?
Because they're way too far up, and they're not flying in a way that a plane would fly. So I wonder if that's a sign of the coming apocalypse. Like, is it? There could have been alien spaceships. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I've never seen so many.
You've probably spotted it. That's probably it. So you reckon aliens? Fred's going mermaids.
But I'm surprised. I've seen like a bunch of satellites before when I'm out in the country when you can't see them, but not normally in the city.
When you say country, is there an emphasis on cunt? Do you try to sneak it in? Because you've got a no swearing policy.
Joe Rogan also talks about fart theory.
Fart theory? I don't want to talk about Joe Rogan. Do people call him that?
That fart theory is like, if you couldn't smell, how would you know if someone farted?
You wouldn't.
You'd hear it.
You'd taste it.
What if it was an SBD?
Well, then who cares?
Right, but that's what he's saying is that, like, what if there's some senses that we don't have, that we don't even know what to look for?
Who cares?
Well, we don't have those senses.
Like
we don't have those senses.
What if that drug that your lady friend took that gave her that extra sense for a second to sense all these people around who are ghosts of another time?
But drugs don't give you extra senses.
How do you know?
Because you need to have that sensory organ in the first place.
But it could be within your mind.
What if it's like a patch, a software patch to this thing that
To
gives you the extra
rewire
ability?
things.
Yeah.
So that instead of like perceiving light waves as a visual stimulation, you suddenly can perceive them as a audio stimulation. Whoa.
Oh, think about it.
So this is what they talk about on the podcast.
That sounds like a bunch of stoner dudes sitting around talking trash.
Man, like, what if we could like... But I could be blasting you with radiation right now, James. You wouldn't know.
Radioactive banana theory.
I could put a bit of plutonium in your pants.
Where's your organ that would detect that?
Yeah.
Do you have an organ in your pants that can detect radiation?
I don't know. I also want to ask you
How's
guys
your pants
if
organ?
you have ever used Viagra.
No, I think you've asked this before.
Have
No.
I? I've had it in the show notes for a while. I don't know if I've ever asked.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa, listen to that howler. I don't know if you can hear that, listener, but
yeah.
someone's got their V8.
No, it's the
Or is it
yellow
a
car 'cause they
V6?
scrape my car and they never left a note. God damn it, bitches.
I've never had Viagra.
Haven't you?
No.
What about for you going away?
So I got a party with a boner.
Well, don't you normally?
Yeah.
Have
People
your
come to
lady
expect
friends
it.
had Viagra?
Oh, girls pop it all the time.
Do girls take it?
Yeah,
Does it get their clit?
yeah, it's clitoral flooding.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh yeah, big time.
I can't even tell if you're being serious now.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a lot of freaky things on the internet.
We keep saying that. Just like I've been there, man.
If you're a girl Fangin' Around fan and you've used Viagra, tell us what the effects are.
This sounds like there's a bit of crossover with Betty and the Beast here.
Do we have fans? How many of them are girls? How many of them are likely to have taken Viagra?
Oh, Brizzy might, right?
I know there's three co-workers of mine that could be listening that are female.
Write us in.
Write us in.
Take some Viagra. Tell us what happens.
We'll provide you with it.
Can we?
Oh wait.
Can we?
Well,
Can
you
we do
could. You just go to a doctor and say, can't get an erection.
Yeah, I don't even
A
have to do
friend
that.
of mine told me.
I get emails all the time about it.
Like 65 or something too.
I don't know.
Question of the week.
You've got a question of the week you want to ask?
Could you ever foresee, like a situation? Could you ever imagine a situation where you had to make a choice between not having sex, like that night, or having sex with two beautiful women?
What?
Like a realistic situation? Because that happens all the time.
Well, could you?
You're not allowed to have sex that night, but then later you have sex with two beautiful women.
You could either not have sex with anyone that night, or have sex with two beautiful women.
I can.
Wouldn't that be the case if two beautiful women wanted to have sex with you? You could either not have sex with them or have sex with them.
I've been in that situation. And I chose no sex.
Why?
Because I want to be morally sound, Fred. I wasn't engaged to them. I wasn't in a relationship with
every
them.
other aspect. The filth you say on this podcast, but yet...
Am I?
Yes, I'm going to go with yes.
Maybe that's just discussion topics on the podcast, Fred. There's a difference between discussing it and putting it out in the open than actually...
So two beautiful women said, James, let's get it on. And you said, sorry, ladies.
I've been in that situation.
We're not married.
Well, I guess it's obviously subjective if you thought they're beautiful, but...
Did you think they were beautiful?
If they asked them to beautiful... If they asked me to my face if they were beautiful, I would say yes in return, and I wouldn't feel that like I'm lying.
So, and then what you said, no.
Yeah, I got out of there, man.
What if it was just one of them?
I got out of there.
I don't understand.
Well,
Why?
what would happen? Like, what are the consequences, Fred?
An amazing experience.
Just doing something without thinking of the consequences.
So you went home and thought about the consequences and went, "Oh shit! Wait."
He thought,
no, I don't
said,
regret
Stay
it.
there.
I don't regret it
I'm
at
going to have
all.
a wet dream about this later. I got to get this image in my brain.
It's going to be awesome.
Yep. See ya.
And then 2 weeks later,
Splatter on the ceiling.
Sorry.
It's done.
It's yeah.
So you couldn't imagine? No,
I don't understand your
No,
question.
well, okay, because I was in love with someone else, and I wasn't going to risk.
Oh,
And that's a situation that fits in your example.
You're an
If
idiot.
if you two beautiful women came up to you and said, "Well, I say you put I'm,"
But he's in a double love situation, I believe. You love her and she loves you. Whereas I'd imagine, James, you might be in a
called? I've never heard it described as that.
symmetric love.
A double love situation.
Symmetric love.
Okay.
Whereas James, I imagine
he was
you
in
were
an asymmetric.
I was
love.
an asymmetrical
Yeah,
love.
so
But
you're an
that's-
idiot.
That's all I.
But could have been in triangular love.
Yeah, well, what if you were in an isometric love
I've never
situation?
been in.
Well, he was about to.
symmetric
Yeah,
love.
you could have
Beautiful
been.
women.
Pardon?
You would have been in an
Yeah.
isometric love situation.
But then you would have to live up to their standards. Like,
Oh,
You could have totally fucked up.
it has to be like half.
Oh,
I can't go.
You can even just
twice.
take a break. You could just go, "Oh, ladies,
I need
just,
at least
Oh, that's
half
like
an
saying,
hour.
well, why would
Second.
you do anything then? Because you might do it badly.
Yeah." Or you just say, "Oh, give me another shot."
This
Need some more
I
practice.
was overwhelmed. I've never dealt with two orifices at once.
6, you mean?
Sure.
Well, there was that summer of James where I would have gone down on both of them, but it didn't happen in that summer of James.
So there was only one summer when you would have gone down on them.
Yeah.
So if it was a
I
different
had my
summer, you'd be
mojo.
like,
That summer, I had my mojo.
Was that when you were a bit fat?
you were just going down like crazy.
I don't know what I was then, but I had
You
the
were keen
mojo.
for
I've
going
lost
down.
it. I've lost it now. I can't.
Where did it go?
You've always had it, James.
It's in your
Just
heart.
Various
Yeah.
incidents of just
No.
giving me negative feedback. You know.
Oh, you just gotta.
Lost my confidence. Yeah.
No, look,
Well, you
you
should
just
bang
gotta.
2 broads at once. You'll get it back.
That'd give you a big
I
boost.
think,
I reckon,
like
for your ego.
we talked about on that podcast, like I think it was that girl was like, you know, the last person touching me was like that was your grandfather. That things like that really shot me down.
Oh,
Okay, well, I don't know.
well,
Well, you also
know.
got offered a threesome, so just
Yeah, well, that sounds pretty awesome.
balance things out.
That's a bit of an ego. Just that in itself is an ego boost, isn't it?
No, I've never been offered a threesome.
No, I mean I have, but
Did you take
that's,
it?
That's too bad.
We
for
haven't
Fred.
asked you. Did you take it?
Oh,
When
well,
was
I'm not
this?
talking
Oh,
about
I
this.
think I-
You're not.
When
talking
was
about
this?
No, I'm
Time
not
frame.
talking about it.
Just loose
I
time
believe it.
frame.
No, there was a summer.
Yeah, the summer
Nah.
of Campbell.
Which
No, I'm not
summer?
talking about it.
No, I
Time
remember. I
frame.
remember that summer. We went on some crazy.
Was it in Australia?
I remember you and
Yeah, I
me,
can
Fred.
talk
We
Ah,
went
you
on
suck.
some crazy journeys
Yeah, Vision
just
Quest.
to back up this summer of Campbell.
It wasn't one of those times.
No,
But it didn't work
Just
out.
wink at me.
no, I got someone in my eye.
I think I know the rough time period then.
Do you regret it?
Oh,
Your decision, whatever
you can't
it was.
live a life of regret.
So what, you don't have to
neither,
say what it was
James.
your decision, but did you regret it? Do you think about it now? Is that
No.
why you bring this question up?
No, I'm just asking. I'm asking to see your point of view, James. James, you just got to dust yourself
I don't
off.
request it
you gotta,
because I was
you,
in love
You
and
didn't
I-
request
I-
it. No, you didn't. They
No,
requested it.
it was practically.
But what about?
It was peer
didn't you
pressure.
feel some?
Peer pressure, that's
Didn't you
too-
feel some chivalrous responsibility to look after these ladies?
If it wasn't for peer pressure, I would be a virgin. Like, there's never been a situation where I haven't
that
been
sounds
like.
like rape.
I do feel sometimes like that,
Oh,
but I
violated.
can't say that because I'm a white male and
Privileged positions.
privileged position.
Was it by that big burly guy that worked at the bottle shop?
Hey, wait, what kind... Oh, no, sorry.
He said he was a dud root.
But you thought it was alright?
No, well, I never went after him because he said he was a dud root. Obviously,
I lost the conversation and then I come back to
he
this.
played for the Fremantle Doggers.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Oh, apparently one of my bosses there
Actually, it's not pretty sweet. I don't
got
know why I
fired
haven't
for
said
stealing from the company. I just heard this yesterday or something, and he was involved in Tony Mockbell. Who's Tony Mockbell?
that.
I don't know.
I've never heard of Tony Mockbell.
Oh, I thought it was one of those, Perth's version of the mafia or something, but maybe not.
That's Troy
Guy hangs out
Buswell.
in oh, he's a chair sniffer.
Oh, and a brass
And the-
snapper.
and the dry humper.
a dry humper. Fucking Troy Buswell.
Tony Mockbell comes up in Google.
What a douchebag.
Troy
Oh,
Buswell.
he's an Australian
That
from
thing.
Melbourne. So he's
I will
even
claim him as
dodgier.
ours.
He was a fugitive until his recapture in Athens, Greece on 5th of June
Oh, wow.
2007. He was somehow involved in this guy, so...
Can we talk about Troy Buswell for a little while?
Yeah. What
So
So
about-
he's one of our local politicians.
He lived over the road from my mum and dad, over the canal from my mum and dad for a couple of years.
Emphasis on the anal.
Yeah.
Did they see him
Ca-
getting up
anal.
to any creepy stuff?
Like sniffing the
Sniffing
chair.
chairs and...
Wanking into the jetty.
I'm sure he's...
Off the jetty. So he first came to prominence for being a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And what was the sort of timeline of scandals and
He...
what was the first
A
thing?
lady... I don't know the timeline.
He had an affair, didn't he?
He had an affair with a member of the Greens party.
That's right.
And they're like...
A member of an
they're like
opposing
political
party.
enemies.
Yeah.
They're like opposite ends of the spectrum. When some lady MP got up, he sniffed a chair.
Jeez, sorry, I'm
So
laughing
crap.
just because it's so outrageous that he did that.
I've never seen anyone sniff a chair.
But then it's... Did you ever find out the context of it?
What? Okay, what's the context?
That's all that we got reported in the media. Is that he
Yeah, but
sniffed the
what context?
chair. I know. Why was he sniffing that chair?
No, I think it explicitly said that a lady got up from the chair and he sniffed it. I don't think it was... I think it was a playful thing, but...
Yeah, you
But
don't
it
do
was,
that.
it was joking, but
But
it's still...
but you don't do that in the workplace. Full stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I sniff your
Okay,
chair
so
when you
his
get
first
up, but-
incident was he refused to comment on allegations relating to a drunken night at Parliament where he slapped the back of a female Labour Party staffer's bra strap as a party's trick. That was
That's
the
the
first
crappiest
one.
party trick I've
He
ever.
snapped a bra strap.
Yeah. What's what they get up to in Parliament? Yeah.
They party hard.
Then he did that in April 2008. He sniffed the chair. And he subsequently admitted to the act. The woman later revealed Buswell was groaning and writhing in sexual pleasure.
She would say that.
Revelations also came out of Buswell squirrel gripping.
What's that?
Grabbing the testicles of, in parentheses, Liberal MLA Murray Cowper in Parliament.
Can't they just look like there's a camera in Parliament and they can just either he did it or he didn't do it?
Cowper did not deny the incident, saying, "As far as I'm concerned, the matter's dead and it's time for everyone to move on, the media included." So he was all about it.
I didn't know about the squirrel grip.
No.
Well, this is Wikipedia. Someone could have added this in. Who knows? It does have a reference, though. And then he did admit to having an affair with someone, didn't he? Because they found out from his credit card deals that he was going to some motel at the same time as some other Parliament person.
Wow, that's so fucking...
But I guess that's not controversial because he actually admitted to it openly.
Still a little bit controversial.
And then most recently, he was accused...
Oh, right. So there is an article
it came
saying
out that he was at a Christmas party,
and he was dry humping people or a person?
A person. And he got into a fist
female or
fight.
a man?
No, it was a man.
And he got into
I think it
fist
was one
fight.
of the Kalis brothers.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
that's right. Yes, it was a Kalis brother.
And they punched him.
Yeah, they were like, get off, get off, get off. And he was like humping away. And then they punched him and broke his
good on them.
glasses.
Go, Caleb. Let's go and have some dinner there. What a douchebag. Where does he represent? What's his district?
What's his position?
Oh, well, he obviously
was
he lived in
treasurer,
Busselton with my parents,
Oh,
so...
With your parents?
No, across the canal for my parents.
Emphasis on the anal.
So, or whatever that area is, down south somewhere. And he's been in various positions, but he gets... Whenever he
Such
does
as
something
dry
bad, he gets
humping.
demoted, and then they give him 6 months for people to forget about, then they promote him again.
Surely people aren't going to... I never forgot about the chair sniffing. Lest we forget.
The Liberal Party feels
Yes.
that he has been forgotten about that.
No, I'll never forget that.
Oh, look, we need to move on. You know, he does a fantastic job as treasurer, and this is just private matter.
Let's just call him
it's
Barnett.
not-
This is like a bold boys love.
Guess who stole my Twitter name?
Oh, was it member of
James
Liberal
Pontifex?
Parliament? The
Pope.
Yeah, we've talked about this, haven't we?
What?
No.
Oh, we talked about it at the party.
Pontifex.
Pope got Pontifex tag name, which I've been searching for ages. But obviously, he
You reserved it.
pulled some strings and he got.
Well, he's probably more powerful than you are.
Just a little. He doesn't have a podcast with international reach, though.
He has his own radio station,
Does he?
Vatican FM.
Did you tune in?
Do you listen?
The Vatican
Is it
FM.
in
You know
Latin?
all about it, friend. You're very passionate about it.
I'm not passionate about
No,
it.
you're sitting
at
there
all.
with your prayer
You
beads.
sat there and you with a little wink, you're like, "Oh, Vatican FM."
Yeah.
I've never seen you so animated about one.
I've never
of the
seen you so
radio
excited.
That's just one of the few facts I know about the Vatican. They have their own radio station.
Okay.
Highest crime rate in the world.
More crimes than people, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, 110 robberies per 100 people. Huh? What's the timeless test?
The timeless test was where they played, or it might have had multiple times, where they played a cricket match where there's no fixed end date.
Alright.
And went for 9 days and they had to stop it because it was in South Africa and before there were aeroplanes and the England team had to sail back home to England or they would miss their boat if they didn't stop. But apparently they're thinking about reintroducing it because the problem test, obviously with 2020 test cricket's losing its popularity, but the main reason it's losing its popularity is because what's the point? Like
It's
you
a
win,
draw. Yeah.
like even if it's a draw, but like over time, it's usually the home team wins, and the away team loses, and there's no way of telling who's the best team. Like in other sports, you have a season and then you have a final, and whoever wins at the end. So they're thinking of having a 10-year season of Test cricket, right?
A 10-year?
10 years, and then at the end, the top two teams after 10 years are going to play off in a timeless test where there's no limit to... It will just go on forever as long as people are not everyone's out.
That sounds ridiculous.
As if Test cricket wasn't drawn out enough.
Yeah.
They're talking about drawing it out over 10 years.
I would love to see that.
A 10-year season.
They should make
No,
it
no.
like dynasties, like, there's families, blood families that have to keep playing.
Yeah, yeah.
You train
get out,
the
but your
son of.
Ricky Ponting's son.
But I mean, I agree it should be a shorter season.
Oh man, the moths are loving you tonight.
It's that floral perfume you wear. Do you guys want Magnus?
Yeah, I guess.
So
Where'd you get all these magnums from?
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Oh, we got the almonds this
generous person gave them to him.
Almond magnums. These
time.
ones.
What ones were on special, Campbell?
All of them.
So you just picked classic and almond?
Yeah, those are the only ones I like. But they're on special again. So this is a new box.
You've souped up.
No, I just bought this one box and bought it over here tonight.
On special.
Yeah, it was on special.
Special occasion for a special occasion.
Magnums are international, aren't they?
So
Sure.
End of the World special, top 10 ways to destroy the Earth.
Mermaid apocalypse.
This is an article that I actually blogged like back in 2004. So
There's no way a
could be out of
mermaid
doubt.
apocalypse makes any sense, Campbell. That'd be the least terrifying.
Number 10 on the list.
Lack of imagination, Fred.
Total
I'm saying.
existence failure. You will need nothing. Method, no method. Simply sit back and twiddle your thumbs as completely by chance all billions and billions of atoms making up the planet Earth suddenly, simultaneously and spontaneously cease to exist. Note that the odds against this actually ever occurring are considerably greater than a Googleplex to 1. Failing this, some kind of arcane, read scientifically laughable, probability manipulation device may be employed.
That is a ridiculous nonsense.
Yes, that's what they say. Gobbled up by stranglets is number 9. You will need a stable stranglet. What's a
Is it a stranglet or a strangelet?
Strangelet.
I don't know.
I don't know what a strange
Okay, I'll hijack control of the relativistic heavy ion collider in Brookhaven National Laboratory, Long Island, New York. Use the RHIC to create and maintain a stable strangelet. Keep it stable for as long as it takes to absorb the entire Earth into a mass of strange quarks. Keeping the strangelet stable is incredibly difficult once it has absorbed the stabilizing machinery, but creative solutions may be possible. A while back, there was some media hoo-ha about the possibility of actually happening at the RHIC, but in actuality, the chances of a stable strangelet forming are pretty much zero. But still a chance.
A strange quark is just a form of matter, like a proton or an electron. So I don't know what the hell these people are talking about.
The result, a huge blob of strange matter. Number 8, sucked into a microscopic black hole. You will need a microscopic black hole. Note that black holes are not eternal, they evaporate due to Hawking radiation. For your average black hole, this takes an unimaginable amount of time, but for really small ones, it could happen almost instantaneously, as evaporation time is dependent on mass. Therefore, your microscopic black hole must have greater than a certain threshold mass, roughly equal to the mass of Mount Everest. Creating a microscopic black hole is tricky, since one needs a reasonable amount of neutronium, but may possibly be achievable by jamming large numbers of atomic nuclei together until they stick. This is left as an exercise to the reader.
This person's an idiot.
He's just getting freaky, man.
It's like talking just out of his butt.
Oh, that is like the biggest just slam I've ever heard.
Isn't anyone who's
This guy's an idiot.
talking
He's
about
talking
something
out of his butt.
that hasn't been proven talking about his butt?
Pardon?
Isn't anyone who's talking about something that hasn't been proven?
James, you can't prove
Talking about his
anything
butt?
with science.
Yeah, but this guy I think has just got words. Some of it's true. The black hole stuff, I don't know what a strangelet is, but it's like he found buzzwords and then like went, well, maybe that'll destroy the Earth.
Well, you'll hate the next one because it's YOLO.
What, teenagers taking over and destroying us?
Well, the thing is, the world for yourself, in terms of your like subjective experience, because you only live once. Once you die, that is the end of your world and the world around you. So YOLO.
Just if you die, everything dies.
Yeah, YOLO. That's the next one.
What about swag?
Swag, yeah, I think that's the one after. And then cat gifts. And then the nanny.
Number 7 on the list, blown up by a matter-antimatter reaction. You will need 2.5 million something tons of antimatter. And
Antimatter's like, it's literally the most expensive stuff on the planet, and they've made like hundreds of atoms of it.
the most
Not like a
explosive
ton.
substance possible can be manufactured in small quantities using any large particle accelerator. This will take some considerable time to produce the required amount. If you can create the appropriate machinery, it may be possible and much easier. Simply to flip 2.5 trillion tons of matter through a fourth dimension, turning it all into antimatter at once.
So that's where the guy's just making stuff up. We'll just flip it through the fourth dimension.
Oh, what? You don't believe in the fourth dimension?
Well, how
Isn't
else
it
would they
time?
make
The
it?
fourth dimension is time.
How else would you make a vast quantity of it?
Can't you flip it through the fourth dimension and do it? Well, that's how I do it.
Well, actually, I guess antimatter is supposed to be normal matter traveling back in time.
What? Are you serious?
So if you solve the equations of relativistic electrodynamics, I think it is, one of the solutions is normal matter going back in time. And everybody's decided that that doesn't make any sense, so they made it antimatter traveling forward in time. But then antimatter is actually sort of real, so it actually exists, and you can actually do stuff with it.
This method involves detonating a bomb so big that it blasts the Earth to pieces. How hard is that? The gravitational binding energy of a planet of mass m and radius r, as if you do the length calculations given by the formula E equals 3/5 of gm over 2/r for Earth. That works out to be roughly 224 something 000.
This article's
joules.
terrible, and we should get rid of
The
it.
sun takes nearly a week to output that much energy.
Well,
Think
there are
about that.
10 more ideas, and here's the plot twist at the end, M. Shyamalan Night style. It was written by Stephen Hawking. It is.
There was no way that was written by Hawking.
It was. It's for GQ magazine because he's hot.
It would take till 2500 AD to do this, apparently,
To which one? Flip it through the fourth?
to blow it up that well.
Flip
Oh.
it through the fourth.
I reckon you could just detonate a whole bunch
Number
of
6,
A-bombs.
destroyed by vacuum energy detonation.
Okay.
You'll need a light bulb.
Oh, done. Let's get on with it.
This is the fun one. Contemporary scientific theories tell us that we may see as vacuum is only vacuum on average and actually thriving with vast amounts of particles and antiparticles constantly appearing and then annihilating each other. It also suggests that the volume of space enclosed by a light bulb contains enough vacuum energy to boil every ocean in the world.
I can't follow any of this. I was
That's
just
true,
spraying some
That's partially
bug
true.
killer on my butt.
So there's a theory that there is no... Even a vacuum contains particles and antiparticles appearing and then annihilating and then reappearing and then annihilating. Bubbling away in the background. That's how black holes evaporate.
Number 5, sucked into a giant black hole, not a microscopic one.
That's a possibility. You'd never know.
Yeah.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? When it happens.
It's black. How are you going to find it? See it coming towards you.
Oh, doesn't it warp light and stuff?
Yeah, I guess somebody would.
If it was giant, it would block out the night sky, wouldn't it? Or how close would it have to be to suck us in?
I don't know.
Would it be at Jupiter?
Oops.
Oh, don't get it on the keyboard. Oh, that looks nasty, man. Don't wipe it into the cracks. Just pour rice on it. Pour rice on it.
Is that real?
That's just my answer to every
Somebody-
tech question. Someone asked me how I could install more RAM, and I just said just pour rice on it.
Somebody's putting it on Facebook. They dropped their phone in now.
Brie. You just have to
Pour rice on
it just absorbs moisture out of things around it.
it.
So desiccated coconut.
How close
Yeah,
would a
same
black
effect. You
hole...
can probably put it in desiccated coconut.
Just don't put it in defecated coconut. So it'll just make an even bigger problem.
It's almost a dad joke.
I'm allowed to bust them though, man.
You're a dad.
I got Speedos on right now, and if I wanted, I could have a non-ironic mustache. So how if there were a black hole capable of sucking Earth into it, how close would it have to be to Earth before it sucked us in?
Well, it's once you go past the event, the whole point of an event horizon is that that's the point of no return.
Yeah,
But
I saw the movie.
We are technically being sucked in by the black hole in the center of the universe and the galaxy, right?
yeah, so I mean, any distance you're being sucked towards it because gravity's pulling you towards it. But
Okay.
for you to notice, I don't know.
How would you feel if, like, one was coming?
I think, from what I've read, even though time slows down for someone watching you fall into the black hole, your time never changes. But what does happen is there's like an insane gradient of gravity. So the because it's so strong that the gravity at your feet, if you're standing up, is so much stronger than the gravity at your head. Your whole body just gets stretched.
Oh, I'd probably die.
So you'd probably die from that, but then it's sort of the space around you that's stretching, so it's all, I don't know.
That's
But yeah, I think
freaky.
it would like stretch you out before you die.
A work colleague and I had a question, or she came to me with a question and said, because she couldn't remember, and then I couldn't remember because I got, put on the spot. What effect does gravity have on time? Does it slow it or speed it? Like increased gravity, does it speed time or slow time?
Time goes...
And I said slows time because I was thinking of the event horizon. It doesn't when you're at the event horizon, time stops, doesn't it?
Yeah, so time goes... It's all relative.
What?
So,
Time's relative?
Yeah. General relativity, special relativity.
What? No.
Crazy.
Prove it.
Einstein did. So time goes... If I'm watching you,
which you
or
always
relative
are.
to me, if I'm just stationary, time goes slower if you're moving really, really quickly.
Time goes slower if you're moving quickly, yeah.
Yep. And it goes slower if you're deeper in a gravitational potential, I think. So if you're way down on the planet, being squashed by gravity, and I'm up in space, it goes slower for you, I think.
But that's sort of a good thing, right?
Maybe it's the other way around then. So you, in theory, live longer if you work... Oh, fuck, I know, I can't remember. I'm not going to call that. I can't remember which way around it is.
What? No! I couldn't
up.
even remember. I was like, oh, my friend will know. I think it's
fast.
harder is slower.
I think it goes slower if you're deeper in a gravitational. So, in theory, time goes for a little bit longer if you work on the basement as opposed to the top floor of a building. A nanosecond
Move
over
it
your
harder,
entire life.
always better. Makes it stronger.
Maybe that nanosecond's all you need.
Maybe. Or maybe you're just waiting for a nanosecond.
Batman, yeah.
Number 4 on the list, meticulously and systematically deconstructed. You would need a powerful mass driver, or ideally lots of them.
I'm a powerful mass driver.
And you would need access to roughly 2 times 10 to the 32 joules.
Doesn't even make any sense. It's a mass driver. Basically, what you to being some sort of sexual thing, but I don't know what it actually is.
Basically, what you were going to do here is dig up the Earth, a big chunk all at a time, and boost the whole lot of it into orbit. Yes, all sextillion tons of it. A mass driver...
Campbell's mass driver can do a sextillion tons a minute easy.
Oh, dear.
A mass driver is a sort of oversized electromagnetic railgun, which it was once proposed as a way of getting mined materials back from the moon to Earth. Basically, you just loaded that into a driver.
It was once proposed, as in someone once proposed,
Yeah,
and everyone else went, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So basically, if you mine the Earth into space, it would deconstruct
It would destroy the Earth, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Number 3, pulverized by impact with a pulverized by impact with a blunt instrument. You would need a big heavy rock, something with a bit of swing to it, perhaps Mars.
Stupid. So if Mars crashed into us...
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that what the whole thing
these-
is? This Planet X is going to hit?
Are these
No.
most likely or just...
No, these are
What's
just crazy.
the order? Most
It's not
crazy?
most like it's like, what's the coolest way for it to happen?
Mars
Oh
collision.
no, isn't this just different things? Not zombie
What
apocalypse.
things this guy just made up?
Not mermaids, because
This
everyone's
is from
talking about mermaids.
livescience.com.
I wish people would get onto the mermaid thing.
The merpocalypse. It's never going to happen.
Zombies, it's over. Stop talking about
From last time I
zombies.
read this article, this is my
Mermaids.
favourite, right?
How would they even attack me? Okay,
Get
describe
thinking
it.
about it. Floods. They flood. You're
There's
living on a
always so
low
much
coastal plain. Water gets moved. They start coming in.
Yeah.
I live in the mountains. I'm in Colorado. It's 5,000 kilometers from the coast.
They-
And
Yeah, but
what if
I'm
an
on a
ice
half
cap
of a
melt,
mountain.
friend?
Yeah,
It's like Waterworld.
they melt the ice caps.
Have you seen the Kevin Costner movie?
Yeah, he had
The
to
classic.
He had to swap a
I didn't
bag
see
of dirt
one-
for a pot of dirt with a tomato plant.
I didn't see one single mermaid in all of that movie.
He was a mermaid.
Yeah, that's
Zing!
the whole point.
Spoiler alert! Didn't you watch it? He had
Like some
gills.
sequest
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, he had gills.
He was a merman.
Oh, dude. What? You didn't watch it.
Nah, I just
You're pretending. You're just saying you
we
watched
should have
it.
a movie night in the
Some
cinema. I
bits
have
of
it on Blu-ray.
you have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's the greatest movie ever.
Which bit?
The whole movie.
I just remember someone on a jet ski and an exploded. Dennis Hopper with an eye
Jack
patch.
Black, Dennis Hopper,
Water?
Jan Triplehorn whoring herself out. It's awesome.
It's for a kid, man.
Number 2, this is my favourite. Eaten by von Neumann machines.
What's a von Neumann machine?
You would only need one of them. A von Neumann
Is it a machine so big it can eat Earth?
I guess so.
Is it like
A von
Megatron
Neumann
or
machine is any device
Unicron.
capable of creating
Unicron.
an exact copy of itself, given nothing but the necessary raw materials. I'm pretty drunk right now. Create one of these that subsist almost entirely on iron, magnesium, aluminum, and silicon, the major elements found in Earth's mantle.
Do it from carbon, most common.
I don't think carbon is the most common.
Oh,
Silicon is.
do it with
I
silicon.
guess it's a self-replicating machine that eats it.
So like a nanobot.
Yeah, it's like a nanobot that eats everything.
What else?
Apparently that happens in 2010, but I don't remember that happening.
Didn't you get replaced by a nanobot?
When you had, didn't you have nanobot concerns from last week?
I am concerned about nanobots. I think
The privacy implications
Yeah.
of nanobots.
So
Are you going to put that on SoundCloud? That's
Maybe.
probably the bit that has to go from that
the
show.
highlight. Number 1, the top way to
just
for-
the top way?
Yeah.
Not the top
For Earth's
something
destruction.
way. Just the top.
is hurled into the sun.
That's a boring way.
You hurl the Earth into the sun, sending Earth on a collision course with the sun is not easy as one might think. Even though you
I thought it'd
don't
be
actually
pretty
have
easy.
to literally hit the sun, sending Earth near enough to the sun.
What?
within the
Really?
Roche
No.
limit.
I'd imagine we'd be okay right until we touch the surface, and then things will get a bit crazy.
Basically, hit a Roche limit, and the tidal forces will tear it apart.
That's what I was talking about when the gravity of your legs is stronger than the gravity of your head. So
Oh. Yeah, I think, wouldn't we just get a bit, like, busted up
get really hot. We lose our
really,
atmosphere,
really,
we
really
die.
quickly?
I think that's what's eventually going to happen, isn't it? The sun gets bigger as the Earth.
It's on December 20th, isn't it?
This
Eventually.
week.
Imagine if there was just a supernova on that date. Just a supernova in the sky.
Just to
A
freak everyone
champagne
out.
one?
Maybe.
Or just a regular
Now,
one?
this
The
is the
regular
thing that I wanted to talk to you about, guys.
Is it the mermaid apocalypse? Is it the
What's not
nanny?
happening?
We live in Perth, which is
No,
kind of
nanny.
like
Well, slow down.
paradise,
Okay,
right?
let's do it.
We're not.
There's a lot worse places to
So
live.
there's no
We're-
volcanoes, there's
we're
no
a
tidal
long way
waves,
away from
there's
any
no
wars.
earthquakes, there's no wars. We've got no water.
What do you think? And I was looking around. I was going around Perth today on my at work, and I'm looking at all the
In your
buildings
Mitsubishi
that
Magna?
we've saved from early times and stuff like that. When is
That was a quick tour.
the what is going to destabilize Perth as a place to live? Like, what's the big
Food
event?
security.
Yeah, it'll be something social.
It's going to be a war.
It'll be food
It's
security.
going to be a civil war.
The mining boom will be over, and there'll
The
be
mining-
no
yeah, the
jobs,
mining
and
boom
the
will
whole
bust, will
place
be a
just turn
ghost
into
town.
like a.
Do you think Australians would ever find each other in a civil war?
No, it'll be just
no.
a slow slide into just poverty.
Because what would West Australia do?
No, but that's still stability.
No, because there's no jobs and there's empty
Oh.
houses like Detroit, something like that. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
what I imagine would happen to Perth.
Yeah, but
Well, eventually, we're a mining
America
town. Eventually
didn't
we'll
fall
become a
apart
ghost town.
because Detroit died.
Yeah, because their industry left, and Perth's industry
Yeah.
is mining. So when that leaves, the same thing.
Yeah,
will happen.
but
10 years
America's
we've got.
still
10
alive and
years.
kicking.
Detroit's not, though.
Yeah, but Detroit's not. So
Yeah, if you're talking about Australia or you're talking about West
Yeah,
Australia.
but people there who left just moved to Sydney next door.
Yeah. So we're going to move to Melbourne. That's what everyone in Perth does anyway.
Right, it's not like the Holocaust is going to happen. It's not
and we'll have
like
to hide our accents.
we ran out of water and we had to move away. Like,
So what are you
Yeah,
saying?
but if
You're
there's
ruling
also
out
no,
all the
well,
things we're
in
suggesting.
Apocalypto, right? The city, Mexico City, was built on a lake, and then they had to drain it because it kept getting flooded and stuff, and then eventually they keep rebuilding the city every time it flooded, and
It's hot. The whole thing's built in a swamp and it's all going to collapse.
yeah, it's still sinking
tip.
today.
Yep. And there's still earthquakes.
It's like Venice, but on
but
land.
dirtier.
What-
Well, like Fred and I proposed
Massive
What's
social
the
ghost
next
town.
big event that's going to upset
It's probably
Australia?
mermaid apocalypse.
Do you think like an Asian country is going to try and invade
Are you
Australia?
trying to
for the
rile
land?
up a bit of a yellow peril
No.
amongst us? No.
I reckon
Well, I think it's
Is
fair.
anyone sitting here going, look at what West Australia's got, all these resources, that's a viable take?
This is
don't
what I would
think
reckon.
we've got-
China comes out with some report, all our growth stopped for some reason. The price of iron ore plummets, the price of natural gas plummets. All the projects up north, because
Close.
they're all just international big companies, just go, we'll just shut it down. All of a sudden, they lay off all the FIFO workers in Perth, and they've all got their mortgages
Because-
and they've all bought their houses, and then there's no more jobs in Perth.
Where is the stuff that's happening in China now going to go to? It's going to move to Brazil, and then Brazil's going to be like, hey, we need some iron ore to build the stuff.
Yeah,
that
but then
we
we might not have the best shipping routes. We might not be the best
Yeah.
country to provide that
The
stuff.
price might be
They might-
halved
Yeah.
because they
Who's going to provide it?
Well, I don't know.
they have massive mines in
Canada?
in Brazil. They have heaps of minerals. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that part of the world's fine in terms of minerals.
This is a very boring answer.
Yeah, but that's
Because
sorry, it's going to be mer people.
No, because the same thing happened in the 1980s when Alan Bond went bust. Like, that's not.
Yeah, but it
Perth
depends how.
survived.
Yeah, but it depends how.
Well, I'm talking about a
Yeah, but the
Mayan
scale's
civilization
worse.
just died, when the Spanish came in and destroyed
Oh,
it.
well, fine. If the Americans come. Look, the other thing that's going to happen is it's going to be, and it's happening, is, the US wants to be more and more present in Western Australia to to secure shipping routes, and our number one trade partner is China. So we're going to be in this sticky position where we're trying to, please both parties, our number one political ally and our number one economic ally. And,
Won't that make us safer? Because
You know
both US and
China
want
rely on
to
us.
look after
Yeah,
us.
but what are we going to do? Like, it's awkward.
I'm pretty sure that I saw a graph.
Do you think
once
we're
of-
going to be?
It's like when you're in bed with two beautiful women and they both need pleasing.
It wasn't that
I
long
don't know, I've been
ago.
invited to a threesome.
It wasn't maybe even just one generation back or two generations
There
back.
were no white people here.
Where you couldn't sit around and go, I am going to be living my life normally forever, because then the Japs bombed Darwin.
The Japs.
Yeah.
What was your point?
No,
There was
as
a
in
time
we
when
were
you could be
defending.
sitting around
We brought our troops home from Europe to fight off the Japanese, to protect our country from being invaded. And
But that's why we built the rabbit-proof fence.
That
Yeah.
didn't work. There's heaps of rabbits.
it was only
But
like
there's
a
no
generation or
Japanese
two
soldiers.
back where we weren't sure that we were not going to get invaded like every other country in the Pacific by the Japanese.
Yeah, but countries like in Europe have been dealing with the threat of invasion for the past 1,000 years.
Right, but so we're the first generation who's just living in absolute bliss of ignorance that we're not going to
More like
face
bliss
a
in
war.
Esso.
Like, it's
Am I right?
perfectly stable here.
Oh, you just have to read the newspaper. You can
Well,
find a war to be stressed about if you want.
No, I'm talking about a war here.
Well, we've
that's
already
gonna
got
affect
one.
us.
I think I'm pretty
How
sure
has these
Perth-
wars affected you?
I'm pretty sure Perth's one of the closest cities to, well,
Nothing.
fully
Indonesia?
Western cities to North Korea.
Which is the biggest Muslim country. Yeah.
So we're well within their missile range. So if they want to drop a couple of nukes on China, on Japan, and the Western, the largest U.S. naval base, that they can reach, and it happens to be Garden Island, there goes Perth.
Well,
Boom.
depends how
Kablammy.
big their weapon is. Right?
Wow, it'll be probably inaccurate. It might just land in the middle of the Swan
Read
River.
this. This will rile you up, Campbell. This thing I've put on here to...
Is it racist?
What do
Yeah,
you?
it's
What,
very
so what are you
racist.
worried about, James? What do you think's going to destroy this land you call paradise?
Here's a pods fact. The most remote city with a population in excess of 1 million is Auckland, New Zealand.
I thought that was Perth.
I thought that was Perth, too.
Yeah, so the thing is, that fact is based on, they don't count, because Wellington and Christchurch are cities of only 300,000 people. They're not considered cities.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, boo. No.
And so since we have Adelaide, which has a population of a million next to it, it's only 2,500 kilometres away, rather than,
What?
the distance between Auckland and Wellington's like 500 kilometres, but that's not a city. It's apparently a town now.
That doesn't make any sense. That's bullshit.
Yes, it's based on population.
Anyway, Wellington and Christchurch are both insanely bigger than Albany or Bunbury. So,
I'm going to write into pods.
yeah. I get angry about it.
Where'd you get that fact from?
I was on your
always bring my
packet of pods that came, and I was disturbed
You brought this in,
by
did you?
this fact that was pods fact that was.
Oh, you dispute this fact.
Yeah.
Well, Fangin' Around's
and I'm
gonna
dressing
start
on Fangin' Around. We're gonna.
Yeah, well, let's start a possible
Yeah.
campaign.
What? Fuck pods.
Fuck pods.
We are isolated.
Yeah,
So should we fuck Auckland?
No, it's not about Auckland. It's
Sounds-
about pods.
Oh, what's the committee that decides remoteness?
Well, it's not pods. It's us. But
Um,
look, if you want to be scared of something, James,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's a war being waged on our beaches every day.
With the sharks.
No, well, then the mer people.
SPF stuff that invades our SPF sunscreen.
It's the boat people.
The boat people. The boat people.
Yeah, that's a massive.
They're taking our jobs.
thing.
They're taking our women. Taking our houses.
Mm.
It's harder and harder to get a beer at the pub.
Mm-hmm.
$10 beers now. It's just the norm.
Mm.
It's boat people, man.
Damn it.
People made of boats.
Like people on yachts.
Well, yeah, I see them,
Boaters.
you know, like in Applecross and things. South Perth foreshore.
What about jet ski people?
Oh, they're even worse. But they're not distance. They can't go
Oh,
very as far.
can't jet ski from Bali.
I wonder if he could. No.
Fred, your question of the week is: what is your favorite apocalypse movie?
Splash.
Splash.
It's one
Is
about
that
a
with-
mermaid.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito's in a mermaid film.
think so. Laura Linney.
He is the mermaid.
No, no one wants
Yeah.
to see Danny DeVito shirtless for an hour and a half.
I think it's 2 hours.
Oh no, I think it's Bob Hoskins. Sorry, I'm thinking.
Oh
of,
man, those two
That
should be in
might as
a
well be the
movie
same.
together.
Who's Bob Hoskins? Some other short.
If they played twins in a movie,
he always plays.
he plays the roles Danny DeVito doesn't
Yeah.
get.
God,
Sure.
that's a really bad thing for
Sure, Bob Hoskins, Winona Ryder,
Oh, what a
and
cast.
Christina Ricci.
Is that a fish called Wanda you're talking
No,
about?
Mermaid, 1990.
Oh.
Who is the mermaid?
I think it's Christina Ricci, is it? No?
I don't know. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to add it to my list. Fred, Apocalypse. What's your favorite? Haven't we done this? Oh, favorite apocalyptic movie.
Yeah.
Is that actually your question, Fred?
No, this is the question I was
He doesn't
telling
give
you.
it up, so we have to
Oh,
provide him with one.
Fred.
I really like Quiet Earth, but I saw it a long time ago, and I don't.
I think you were a bit.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, it was at your house, so that wouldn't have been true. Well, all the other ones are incredibly cheesy. You know, like Impact or Independence Day, or
Would you prefer Deep Impact or Armageddon?
you know, one that I was thinking of is The Matrix.
Mm?
You know the Animatrix.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. What?
We went and saw it. It's like the animated films. There was like some
Oh,
releases. of
Animatrix. I get it.
Animatrix.
That's clever.
A bunch of animated films before the Matrix, and one of them was like the history of how the robots ended up taking over. And I remember thinking that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The story they wrote
Yep.
for that. So I'm just going to go and say that one.
Animatrix.
What, Terminator 2?
Terminator 2. It's not really
Oh.
apocalyptic though,
Isn't it?
Wow,
Well, the Earth blows up in it.
I never seen past the second one, so
Haven't you seen the third one?
I've saw it, but I
Third
forgot
one's
it.
my
I just
favourite.
forgot it.
Controversial.
What? Have you seen the TV show, The Sarah Connor Chronicles?
No,
It's supposed to be really good. Like,
It reminds me I should watch that.
it's supposed to be like, I can't even describe what it's supposed to be like. Like how Stargate was better than the Stargate movie or something. And
Is that true?
Stargate by
I've
the
never-
greatest apocalyptic filmmaker of all time.
Baz Luhrmann,
No, Roman
Polanski, he
Michael-
was just a rapist.
Michael Bay.
Roland Emmerich
Oh, yeah.
did Independence Day, which is my favourite
Oh.
film. But runner-up would be Miracle Mile.
I haven't seen that. I gotta
Miracle
watch that.
Mile's pretty
Anthony
amazing.
Edwards from Top Gun.
And ER.
I'm gonna watch that, but you've timed it badly, so
You're not going to come?
I think I'm away.
Where are you going?
Melbourne.
It's on Thursday.
I'm going on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Miracle Mile's, yeah, pretty incredible.
It's
I sat there
available on the
that
Australian iTunes store.
I sat there through the whole film just thinking, is this real? Like, how did they make
made?
I can't believe they made this movie. Not because it's bad, but you're just like,
it's such an epic film that you've never heard about.
Yeah, it's epic, and
you think you'd be discussed more in popular culture, they would make weird references to it in The Simpsons and stuff, but there's nothing.
It's exactly that. Because it's good, and you're just going...
I listened to a podcast where they interviewed Anthony Edwards, and they were talking about Top Gun stuff. I'm like, when are you going to talk about Miracle Mile? And they didn't even talk about it.
Well, Anthony, if you'd like to come onto our podcast, we'll give you an ear bashing for at least 3 hours about Miracle Mile.
I wish Fred had seen it so we could talk about the ending, because it's pretty amazing.
Might have to acquire it from you.
It's Australian iTunes Store. It's available, apparently. I think, yeah. Surprisingly, again, not available on the US iTunes Store. Not available on DVD. Not available on the UK iTunes Store. For some reason, Australia has an exclusivity agreement on it at the moment.
I think Anthony managed to negotiate that.
Yeah.
Because he's number one fan.
Yeah.
It is a remarkable movie.
Do you have a favourite apocalypse film?
Splash? No, Little Mermaid.
Splash is a different film to Mermaid.
Fish Called Wanda?
Fish Called Wanda?
Splash is the one with Tom Hanks, isn't it?
What?
Which I haven't watched,
he's a mermaid.
I've got it on DVD or something.
No, Tom Hanks never played a mermaid, did he?
No, Daryl Hannah
played
was
a mermaid.
Oh,
Daryl Hannah was the mermaid. Tom Hanks was the lover of the mermaid.
What's Splash about then?
How do you bang a mermaid?
A man's reunited with a mermaid who saves him from drowning.
It is about
as
a
boy
mermaid.
And falls in love, not knowing what she is.
A mermaid?
Ocean Girl? Is she a mermaid?
Have you seen Waterworld? Because Kevin Costner, the most badass motherfucker in Hollywood, was a mermaid in that movie. Yeah, and you just said no man ever played a mermaid.
Merman, Campbell.
Well, merman. Kevin Costner did.
But don't you need the tail of a fish?
It's like zombies. Can they run? Is it a plague? Is it a...
So that anything with gills is a merman. Is a mermaid.
If you can breathe underwater, you're a merman.
Is a fish a mermaid then?
You're not a human, though. You're not humanoid.
Human if you can breathe underwater.
You're not humanoid.
Like a monkey with gills?
No, that's a monk-gade. Monk-maid.
Monk-maid? Alright.
That's an even better idea. Put that down. Write that in the show
I've got
notes.
for you a picture of Michael
Watch out for
Bay.
your drinks.
Michael Bay while he's making Armageddon.
So for listeners...
Just check the show notes to see why they're reacting that way.
It is a pretty amazing photo.
Why is he wearing that?
Why?
That's his directing costume.
He's like, let's blow up that in that costume.
World's worst director.
Oh, careful.
It's because he never made a mermaid film.
He made Bad Boys 2.
Do you know what his next film is?
Bad Boys 1.
His next film...
Bad Boys 3.
I wish it was. It's called Pain and Gain.
It sounds pretty amazing.
With Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson, a pair of bodybuilders in Florida.
The Rock.
It freaks out.
I only know him by his formal name.
A pair of
Wait. Read the plot
A pair
synopsis.
of bodybuilders in Florida get caught up in an extortion ring and a kidnapping scheme that goes terribly wrong.
You know what I'm thinking this is? It's Bad Boys 3.
Yeah.
Because it's a pair.
Or it's an all-new franchise that will get another sequel.
Which would be the Will Smith of those two? The Rock or Mark Wahlberg? I'm thinking it'll be Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Do you think?
So.
But then that would make the Rock Martin Lawrence. Doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they're both badass. They did away with the lame-o character.
Who's the lame-o character?
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence?
He's pretty cool in Bad Boys too.
He's the one. He's the one.
He got shot in the butt.
He
straight
turns out
man.
to be the better one.
No, no.
Yes, he does.
But Will Smith got jiggy with it.
It's a comment on the
What
shallowness.
car
of
does he drive in Bad Boys 2? Is that a
Ferrari
Ferrari, or a Porsche?
or
No, it's a Porsche.
It's a Ferrari. It's a Ferrari.
No, it's a Porsche. He
which
gets trashed
scene?
at the beginning.
No,
And he
in
shoots-
the,
he
Bad
shoots
Boys
the-
1's a Porsche.
Because he's like, you're
in
damn
Bad Boys
right it's
2.
limited. I always think that whenever I see limited edition, I think, damn right it's limited. Not even a cup holder. In Bad Boys 2, he's driving a Ferrari.
No, he's driving a Porsche in both of them. He's just got the new model in the second
Yahoo
one.
Answers has this very question. In Bad Boys 2, what make and model car is Will Smith driving when they go by the CPTS house? Captains, I guess. Here is list... Oh, well, this is a crappy answer. Here's a list of all the cars used in Bad Boys 2 with pictures.
Oh, is this car Internet Movie Database?
Yes.
It's pretty
about this?
Yeah, it's wicked because sometimes I watch a movie, I'm like, what was that car? And then I go on car Internet Movie Database and they just screen cap every single car that appears in it and list them. It's amazing. Like cars in the background. Like every car.
Where do you draw the line?
They don't draw any lines.
So what? There's a shot of a car park, and they've screen capped every car, and they're like, "That's
Yeah.
a Dodge Charger. That's a something else. That's a."
Yep.
Well, there's no Porsches at all. I think it's a Ferrari 575M Maranello.
It's like a silver one. When they're driving on the thing, and the guy in the truck, he's throwing the
Or
cars off the
550.
truck. That's what it is.
Really? I always
It's a
remember it being a Porsche.
Porsche in Bad Boys
Porsche
1.
and Bad Boys 1.
I know it's that one in Bad Boys 1 and
Because he
the
shoots
girl walks past, right? And
She
she's really
shoots.
hot. And he's like, woohoo! And then
Now-
he gets carjacked. Or is that in the second one?
I don't know. I haven't watched Bad Boys 1 in a long time.
Another good thing about the Joe Rogan experience is
No.
him talking about with other rich people about
Oh,
cars.
that sounds awesome.
And yeah, Joe Rogan says the worst decision he ever made in life was buying a Porsche, and it broke down 5 times in the first year he had it.
Oh, I'm crying for Josh Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dane Cook was
Give me that
complaining
problem.
about
No repeating the content of other podcasts.
No.
Aston Martin.
This
He
isn't.
said it was
this-
like a piece of crappy plastic that every bit inside was just like
Yeah, we're not
the worst
giving
quality.
props to like other podcasts
No.
here.
Oh.
You don't see
We're not retweeting their content.
yeah.
This isn't.
When Joe
this
Rogan,
isn't Tumblr.
When Joe Rogan says those guys are fanging around,
They were complaining about the Toyota
You know,
Corolla.
he's that cool. He probably would if he knew.
Oh,
I don't think
well.
he would.
If he got the attention, then he'd be like, shout us out.
out with.
Well, let's find out. Why don't you give him a shout out?
Why don't you go? I'm from a podcast from Australia. I'm in Colorado. We used to love to live until your
Can I
wife made
complain?
us move back to the city.
I've just installed Stitcher and it's changed my screensaver without me wanting to do that.
Oh, it hasn't.
What the fuck?
It has.
That's not
That's
cool,
some
dude.
other incident.
That is not cool. My lock screen is now the minutes with Patience and Mel.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Show me.
Well, you wait for it to shut and it'll do it.
No, you're probably playing it.
Oh, what?
It's playing. That's what comes up when you play something. See, if you pause it, it'll go away.
Oh, I don't want it streaming a whole bunch of crap. Especially not those
And that's
Brisbane
why.
girls.
Some brizzies.
Oh, far out.
You love the minutes game. I can't believe you're not into it. Load
can't
up your
stand it.
iPod with minutes on the way, every episode, and just listen to that the whole way. Don't watch any movies.
Oh, yeah, you're talking like this at the end of it.
Get my extra strong accent.
Entertainment, no
G'day,
stuff.
Colorado.
You said you wanted to Oz it up for Colorado.
I listen to one podcast, Dan Cullen's Hardcore History.
What?
Why don't you listen
Never
to the?
discussed this
It's
before on the
super boring.
show.
Why don't you listen
not
to the?
boring.
Why don't you listen to the Monkey Cage?
What's the monkey cage?
Infinite Monkey Cage.
Oh, because I
Brian
hate
Cox.
I hate Brian Cox.
Oh, you do not.
Say that. We're
You
trying to get him on the
hate
show.
Brian Cox?
Yep.
You love him.
No, you're jealous. Once you
Yeah.
get over your jealousy, you'll learn to love the man.
No, it is jealousy. I know it's
How was
jealousy.
Wade Davis?
It's like
That was
Wade
something
Davis.
you
It's like how you-
mind melting.
It's like how you hate Andy Warhol.
No, it's not.
It is. Do you like why? Well, I
You've
feel
said
it.
on the
I
show
feel
before
it
that
is.
you hate
Yeah.
Andy Warhol.
Yeah, but it's not the same as Fred hating Brian Cox.
Why
Is
not?
it?
Well, I don't hate Andy Warhol because he's handsome.
I don't hate Brian Cox because he's handsome. I don't think he's handsome for the record. I think he's funny looking.
He's
Oh,
kind of funny.
I don't think there's no way he's
I
classically
don't hate
handsome.
Andy Warhol because he had a #1 pop single.
Did he have a number one pop single? Yeah.
No, he didn't, but Brian Cox did.
Yeah, but he was the synth player.
The best instrument. He was the heart and soul of that band. How was Wade Davis? Wade Davis was amazing. He's always amazing. He gave his Wayfinders talk, which is, you can just watch it on YouTube if you
already
want.
know it.
Yep.
That's a bit
But I
boring.
just
isn't
paid
it?
Did you do a
40
Q&A?
He ran out of time.
So you didn't get anything for your $40. Just the presence of the man.
presence. I was in the front row right in front of him, so I was like,
What does this guy do?
He is an ethnobotanist, so he looks at how different cultures around the world use plants. Primarily how they use plants to trip. So he basically travels the world getting high.
DMT.
Did you talk about DMT?
No, he talked about the drug that turns people into zombies in
yeah.
Haiti. He talks
Is he being
about...
sponsored by the man? Because he can't talk about DMT.
No, he did the world's first clinical study of cocoa leaf chewing into the effects of it and what its chemical composition is and so on and so forth. And was just like...
What was his conclusion?
He was like,
Get
it's
on
totally
it.
awesome. He was like, for the people that are chewing cocoa and have always chewed cocoa leaves forever, it's super rich in calcium, and because they don't do dairy farming there, the calcium they get from the leaves is really high, and it's
What about
fulfilling that
like
need.
cocaine addiction?
I said it's really not very addictive, the leaves themselves. He was saying that it also has some other thing that it does which enriches like your red blood cell count, which helps with the high altitude that they're living in to transport oxygen, and it helps like metabolize something else that they eat. So he was just like, it's like the most awesome leaf for these people to be chewing.
Well, why shouldn't I chew it then?
You probably should.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Or I
People
could
in South
distill it
America
and do
just
crack cocaine.
chew cocaine leaves, and apparently it gives you a bit of
We were
pep.
just talking about that.
That's what it was saying.
Oh, sorry. I was not.
That's what he was saying. Anyway, yeah, his job title is Explorer in Residence at National Geographic.
Is Wade Davis on the
How
Joe
can you
Rogan Experience? I
explorer
wouldn't be
in
surprised.
residence? Shouldn't he be explorer emeritus? Something?
No, emeritus
Out
means... No, it doesn't emeritus mean no longer working for?
No, I thought it meant working for, but...
I think it means you're not longer on the payroll, but they can ring you up whenever they want.
Okay. It should just be explorer in residence. No, I don't like that. It sounds like a juxtaposition. Oh, oxymoron.
A bit of a paradox, do you
Paradox, that's the kind of thing.
think? Paradox.
It should be explorer.
Well, send him a message. Say...
I don't like your job title. Get a better one.
Yeah. He was great. Wade Davis. If I'd seen Brian Cox, it would have been like this holy trinity of idols that I would have seen in 1 year.
Fifi Gannon tweets, I sent a naked pic once when I was 13, got my tits out and took it on my Motorola Pink Flip.
Did you tweet that at us or just to everyone?
Just in general, I don't know who she is.
Cool. I'm not really into pedo stuff, so...
Yeah, can we not read out things like that? Is she currently
She's from
13?
Perth, Australia. Oh, no, I don't think so. I guess there's obviously something going on the internet about people getting their tits out.
It's been going on for a long time.
I think it's called the internet.
It was like the second thing someone did
to the
after
internet,
typing
the
lol.
greatest segment of the show.
Are you just going to read out people's tweets about how
that
they
wants
took
to come
photos,
Yeah.
naked photos of themselves? Have we got any more listener mail? Is there just that one piece? Not that we didn't
Well, we
appreciate
had the bit
it.
last week, which I'm not sure I'm going to include in whatever we recorded last week, which was a question about who are the females in Gimmerish Fam.
There aren't any. Oh, on Fangin' Around or Gimmerish FM?
Gimmerish Fam.
Oh,
Some of them from Betty the Beast podcast, some of them just girls are just at my house who I'm like, she's like, do you want to have sex? I'm like, no, let's do a podcast. It's a terrible idea.
can't you do both?
Yeah.
I think you could start making money if you did
I
both.
think they lose respect after I start talking.
Why are we whispering? We're live on the internet.
What's your question of the week, Campbell?
What was that?
What's your question of the week?
I already did my question of the
Oh.
week.
Okay.
How drunk are you?
What was your question of the week? Remind us.
It was the one about three ways.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Now, another apocalyptic story. There's some
You can't even say
apocalyptic story. I probably couldn't even say it sober. We're running out of sperm, apparently. Scientists warn of sperm count crisis.
Oh, not me.
That's a very sad thing to say.
What? Is it?
Is it?
Why do you
Carry
think
on.
it's sad?
I won't elaborate. The reproductive
so
health
confused
of the average male is in sharp decline. The world's largest study of the quality and concentration of sperm has found. Now, is one of my other favorite apocalyptic films is Children of Men.
Oh, yeah.
No one, have you seen that?
I've watched
yeah.
bits of it. I was
Fonzie
too frightened. It looked too good, so I was just like, I can't watch it. It's like looking into the sun.
So you watch Bad Boys.
Yeah, because I'm...
Do you guys feel your ejaculate is less spermy?
I thought we came up with an idea last week to involve an iPhone.
I remember-
light to measure this.
There's a
I think we
threat.
did have an app for it, didn't we?
Yeah, we wanted an app.
Oh, you're going to point it at your PP and see what?
No, just ejaculate
Am
onto
I
the
what?
camera.
Oh, and it would analyze.
And
Yeah.
we'd shine lights and do some spectral Fourier transform to measure sperm.
It'd be cool if you could get some sort of a lens cap for the top of your camera on your phone, and you'd sperm into that, and it would be like some sort of magnifier, so you could photograph really accurately your sperm.
I remember Betty Bree used to remind us when we were younger that wearing briefs would reduce our sperm count. Do you guys wear briefs or boxers or nothing?
I wear boxer briefs.
Yeah, like to sit on the fence.
Yeah, it's a bit fence sitting. Yeah, it is.
Boxers.
What kind of boxers?
Cotton.
Silk, cotton.
No, I hate silk ones. Cotton. For breathability.
Do you feel your sperm count has increased after switching to the...
Well, I've always worn them, so I never know. How do you... You cannot measure your own sperm count.
Oh, just visual analysis.
Have you got any lady friends pregnant?
No. But...
Lame.
Anyway, I'll get a beep in a few minutes.
Beep, beep. Who was that? It's James. Have we got a listener mail?
No, it's the listserv emailing me.
Yeah.
The decline occurred progressively throughout the 17-year period of the study, suggesting it could be continuing.
No, but
people are still having babies.
But this is between 1989 and 2005, with 26,000 men tested. That's a big sample size, right?
But like when you're a teenager, it comes out like shaving cream, you know? It's like just, intense. But as you get older, it becomes more like silly string. Have you noticed? No?
Again, I go back to the frequency of your ejaculation to finding the quantity.
I think it's different muscles that get, involved.
Really?
Yeah.
There is some dispute about this.
We should have a men's health.
This is an article.
Men's health section.
We should talk about masturbation.
Now that was from English research. The French are disputing it. So is this classic? Is this classic Anglo Francais?
The more strong, more semen. The women drinking it more and more often. 3 women, 4 women at a time often. Je m'appelle. Is that the sort of thing the French are saying? Baguette, croissant, petit miam.
Oh, I can't even bother reading this. Anyway, some people are disputing it. Some people are like, yeah, it's happening. Do you think it's a natural thing, like the Earth, the humans are somehow evolving to know that we're overcrowding?
No, I don't think we're evolving at all.
Do you feel overcrowded, a sense of?
No. I think we are overcrowding. I don't feel it though.
You're purely observing
intellectual
from
thing.
vision, not the feel like you don't ever go. I mean, you live in apartments and stuff. Do you feel like you can hear your neighbours?
But I think that's the way people are supposed to live, close together. I think this spreading out
this kind of
way of life is bullshit.
Is unnecessary.
I think it's unnatural. I think close proximity housing is more natural. Terraced housing is more akin to what we would have once lived.
Mm.
You look at how chimps and things live. Like, that's how we'd be living.
Groups
but
of
with houses.
10, 20 or something in a little block.
Yeah. Little house. Off we go. Potting around.
I think in Bonobo society, sex is a currency. Do you think we'll ever evolve to that?
Oh, we have, haven't we?
Well,
it's the reason they call it the oldest profession.
Yeah, I guess so. But do you think it will become, as we become more open about our sexuality through evolution, do you think it'll just be normal to, like a blowjob, just like a shake of the hand?
No.
Our blowjob's a little bit more relaxed now. What do you think the AIDS epidemic sexually sent us backwards? Like was 50 years?
Was that a message from God saying don't have
No, I don't
sex?
think it's a message from God.
No, it's definitely not a message from God. Did it say? I don't know. I wasn't around in the 70s.
Weren't you? How old are you? You look about 50.
So I don't know what they were doing back then. From what I've read, everyone was banging and taking LSD all the time. Whether that's actually true or not, I don't know.
If you can remember it, you weren't there.
So I wasn't there.
Oh,
I mean, I was.
but you can't remember. You just said you didn't know what
so
happened
maybe I
back
was
then.
there.
Maybe you were actually like 50, but you totally blocked out that 10-year period and you went back to high school.
What?
Oh, Fred!
maybe, Campbell. Maybe. Who knows?
Whoa. Think about it.
Then what are my parents doing?
They're in on it.
Well, that would make them
They
like
were high
100.
as well.
I'm actually their friend from the 70s. Took a bad trip. And they
Maybe
witnessed I
maybe
was a
you're your
child.
dad's brother.
Okay, you can maybe you're your dad's brother.
Oh, maybe.
How would you know?
Done. I think that about wraps it up though for Fangin' Around
Oh no! You ripped out my mic.
this week. The last
Sorry about
the last Fangin' Around before the Earth ends.
Supposedly.
Is there any last messages you want to send out to the world?
I for one
before
welcome our mermaid overlords.
Apocalypse.
I'll fight these mermaids to the death.
No, come on. Come with your siren songs.
Can you swim, Fred?
Yes.
Better than a mermaid.
No, but on land, I would win.
What if the
flooding.
Earth floods?
Imagine if our
Then you and
Earth
Kevin Costner
tilted
can
on its
snuggle
axis.
all night long.
What if like a
Melted the
dimension to
polar.
a water world opens up on Earth and the water comes flooding in and
What
the
if there's an-
mermaids take us?
I don't know.
What if we get transported to Titan, where it's all water, and there's mermaids
Freeze to
there?
death before that.
Oh, what if there's an atmosphere? And
If
we're
you got
okay?
stuck with one other person on Earth, would you want it to be a male or a female?
A female.
Yeah, oh yeah, female.
Then
sorry.
what do you do for the next generation? Orcs.
Maybe you just
What
want
do
to
you
die
mean?
out.
Well, you have a child.
Yeah.
Who does that child procreate with?
Awkward.
That's
You have to flip a coin, I guess.
Well, the child would be of one sex, and there'd be three of you, so it'd be obvious who has to do who.
I guess.
You would have to have more than one child to increase the
Yeah,
gene
But then
pool.
what are the children going to do each other? Doesn't make any sense.
Just have to have lots and lots of sex and have lots and lots of babies to reproduce.
So you get the
Rapidly.
two most different-looking kids to do it. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess. What? I guess the other answer is you'd
Don't, and everyone dies.
be with two guys, and you nothing. You wouldn't have to
What do
worry
you
about
do?
that, would you?
Just hang
You
out.
just have lots of sex, but you don't have to worry about the weird kid stuff.
But then there's no one to carry on the human race. Just two
But what
dudes.
sort of a race would it be?
Better than no race.
Is it?
I reckon.
Yeah?
Anything's better than nothing.
Okay. Well, that's Fred's take-home message for the night. Anything's better than nothing.
In terms of intelligent life on this planet, yep.
In terms of sex, I think he means.
Do you think you'd become more experimental with sex or more conventional if it was just you and another girl and that's it for all of humanity?
On behalf of all of humanity, do you think did you feel some burden of responsibility to document every possible
Yeah.
combination
We
of...
just want to keep it safe, like in space, where it's just like do everything by the book.
Do they do it in space?
No, I mean
they don't.
when they do operations in space, they do it all super conservative.
No, you just
Do they have to do
Let's get
operations
loose.
in space? Oh, you mean like
Any kind of operation, not just
not surgical? Oh, okay.
I'm sure they would do surgical operations.
Oh, how would they do it though?
be easy.
No, but all the blood and stuff, when you cut someone open, the blood would just start floating around.
Little vacuum cleaners, like that thing they stick in your mouth when you're in the dentist. Just have someone.
Or would you put a vac bag over someone's body? Seal it all in to stop the globs flobbing around.
Why are you looking at me like I know about?
You're the scientist.
I know
Fred.
about space
Why are
blood.
you researching this?
I don't know.
What about cats? Cat gifts. Yay or nay?
No.
Do you like cat gifts?
No,
No.
I don't.
Well, thanks for joining us on Fang Around. This has been episode 33. We recorded this on the 17th of December 2012. You can find everything you need to know about Fang Around at fangaround.com. There should be show notes for this episode, so if you're
Please send us
listening
some
and you want to
listener
hear all the
mail.
links that we're talking about, hopefully
What I
I've
mean.
sobered up and posted them along with the episode.
Please send us some listener mail.
Cal wants some listener mail.
Just lots of it. I don't even care. Ask us questions.
If you
I'm
want to talk to
reiterating
Fred
my-
now, you have to go to Fred at fangaround.com because he's might not be even on the podcast.
I'll send in special segments of me eating hamburgers.
Yeah,
Yes.
he claims he's going to send us a. You
Might
can
type
find
them
Fred's Twitter address on Fang Around on the About page or Cast page, whatever it's called. And Campbell, you're at
CampbellWhite.com.
I'm at
Twitter,
Jimbo.com.
Tumblr, Flickr, Instagram.
This has been the Fang Around podcast. Have a good
10,
end of the world.
Stitching. Adios, amigos.
Might see you guys later.
Muchachos.
Goodbye.
Hasta luego.
Just one for a second.
1 second.
I'll edit it in.
Super
No, this
bonus.
has got to be like.
This is the end beyond the
think
credits
there
kind
might-
of thing.
No, there's some over here. I don't know.
Oh no, here we go.
Is this like
Hey
a
guys,
hidden
this is
track?
a little hidden track. Guess what's back?
The nanny.
No, black stockings. And I'm down with it.
I picked this trend up ages ago at UWA. They're like stockings on girls, but maybe thigh high, and then they have patterns on them.
No, that's gone out. Yeah,
That's
was
come in
in
and
last.
gone
That was
out.
last year. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a
your
little
lady friend wears some awesome stockings with.
I'm talking about.
they're
Sorry,
called
I'm talking
tights.
about tights. Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
tights. They're one of
No,
the things I never.
Tights cover the
summer.
vagina.
I don't know whether it's because we've had this rainy weather.
Really?
but
No,
black
tights are like-
stockings this summer are in.
Stockings don't.
Like 80s black stockings that were big in the 80s. They're back in, and every girl's wearing them. I'm seeing them everywhere. Could be Lee's law. I don't know, but
So you're into it.
I'm down.
I really don't
because
like tights.
every girl in black stockings has good legs.
That's
it's
just what you think because they're black stockings.
That's
It's
the whole.
slimming.
It's slimming. Yeah, it's an optical
Before
illusion.
it was just like, oh, you had to go, oh, legs, good legs, not good legs. Now it's just like everywhere has good legs.
because they're in black stockings.
Yeah.
Everyone looks good in black stockings. Remember
Everyone
that
looks
time
good
I
in
wore
black.
black stockings?
Yeah.
No,
No, I
couldn't
think
stop
guys
looking at
could
me.
pull it off as well.
you want to wear black stockings?
Haven't you seen the footballers train?
I don't wanna
They
wear
train
them.
in black stockings.
Yeah, yeah.
Those skins.
You
I guess
see
that's
Ben-
how
Yeah,
it's
they
like.
call them skins, and they're like,
Ben
"Oh, it's for tough
Cousins
cunts," but
in
it's
skins and no top. Ugh.
oh, tonight's going to be one of those nights, I think.
Yeah.